Man, I think my biggest problem in the truck scene, man, is that some clubs feel like it's like a gang, bro. Like
Oh,
to me, like man, bro, like it's badass. Like back in the days, to where you can go to another club stand and hang out with them. Like me, like I try to kick it with everybody, but I do notice that some people, if you're wearing a different type of logo on your shirt or different type of logo on your truck, you can't go hang out with them. So to me, that's my biggest problem. And another thing is like hating on each other. Like, hey, bro, at the end of the day, if there's always gonna be somebody with more money. There's always gonna be somebody with a better truck. There's always gonna be somebody with with better things that you have. But at the end of the day, like don't hate in another build. At the end of the day, if you can't keep up with that build, then let that boy shine.
yeah.
Everybody, I feel like everybody has their time. Like everybody has their time, and to me, like don't be salty about it. Let that person shine. You had your shine. You had your shine. Let that person shine, and maybe your turn come back again. So that's probably the biggest thing that I have. When somebody's being salty. Or somebody's being like treating the clubs like a gang that you can't hang out with them.
Wait, stop the podcast. Make sure you subscribe, like, and comment who I should have next as my guest. Thank you.
What's up, guys? Carlos with Team Billet. We're here with Go Hard Podcast, and you want to learn about Team Billet? Check out the podcast, and appreciate the homie for the invite.
Welcome back to Go Hard Podcast. I'm your host, Noel, as usual. Man, we got a very special guest here today. They got one of the hottest trucks in Houston, other states as well. You've seen him on Instagram, TikTok, and now he's going to be sharing his story with us. Let's give it up for Delkarloz from Team Billet. Introduce yourself, man. Tell us a little bit about you.
Well, man, pretty much, most people call me Carlos, most people call me Negro. Got all kinds of different nicknames. Like you saw in your story, like
Yeah.
why they call him Negro, why they call him Carlos, why they call him Carlos. Why they call him Lowe's. So got a bunch of different nicknames.
Yeah.
It just depends where you're at. If you're in Houston, you got one nickname. If you're in the Valley, you got a different one. It pretty much everywhere you go, but everybody kind of they say though Carlos, everybody know who it is.
Yeah, what do you think? So, what do you think about the podcast? And, we've been planning this for a couple of months now. And then, you've been busy. Schedule's been off. The, what you call it? Pretty much just been busy. What do you think about the setup and everything?
And I've been following you for a while. It's like like I told you a while back. As I keep up with your podcast stuff like that. I'll be at work or watching YouTube and stuff like that. And as time goes by, it keeps getting better and better. Your equipment, the people you bring by, and the love you get from everybody, and the love you show everybody too. It's pretty badass, man. It's one of those deals that this is my first time doing one. So
Oh, okay.
so yeah, excuse me. We stutter a little bit or say
Nah,
some stuff that we're not supposed to say, but you know what? So we're gonna try to keep it real as much as we can. And like I say, once again, appreciate the homie for inviting us.
I remember you gave me some advice when I did Custody. You're like, try to say this, or you remember? And I was like, that's pretty cool. Like, somebody gives you advice instead of like trying to down you or something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's one thing, man. Like I learned from a lot of OGs, in the game, and a lot of times, I take the good and I take the bad, and a lot of times, you kind of got to go ahead and add it all up and kind of just take the good out of it. A lot of times, and I feel like whoever's trying, to do something, is like, hey, more power to them. Keep on pushing. At the end of the day, you can only get better. But if you sit there and criticize somebody, you're gonna be like, damn, that dude's a hater.
Yeah. So so there's gonna be some people that are gonna watch the podcast and they're gonna be like, "Who's Team Billet?" So it's like if you can explain that to them.
Man, pretty much Team Billet, man. I guess how you want me to start? You want me to start how you started, or you want me to tell you?
Nah, just start off by like what is Team Billet, and then we can start later.
Team Billet is pretty much a truck club. It's a truck club. It's a non-profitable truck club. So like they, we don't sell merch. We don't, pretty much we don't have a business that we make money revenue. It's more of a hobby that a group of people got together. Hey, you know what, man? Let's go and get a group. Let's go to get a banda. Food for the family and stuff like that. Pull up with your kids and pretty much a group of people that enjoy the same passion of trucks, cars, side-by-sides, motorcycles, pretty much everything.
And tell us like your role in Team Billet. Like, who are you?
I'm actually the main owner of Team Billet. The name got inherited to me, which we'll get into the details in a little bit later on. So now I'm the main president of Team Billet, so pretty much nationwide, which is, right now we go from Canada, United States to Mexico.
Canada.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, we're from Canada, United States to Mexico now. So thankfully,
What part of Mexico? Excuse me.
we got Aguascalientes, we got Querétaro, we got Monterrey,
Nice.
we got Guadalajara. We got a couple of members down there. So like I said, little by little, it's kind of going into Mexico, and it's you'd be surprised, man, the amount of bills there's in Mexico. It's kind of like
Really?
a hidden treasury down there, man.
Gotta ask you a question. Is it like cartel people that have Argentine billet?
Man, believe it or not, man, believe it or not, a lot of people think about like that,
Yeah.
see Team Billet, them dudes are narcos or something.
Yeah, yeah,
In
yeah.
reality, man, most of my guys, they own companies, they own businesses, and a lot of them, actually have degrees and stuff like that, But whenever you see the pictures, I mean, most of us don't post like personal pictures, and mainly
Yeah.
just the bills and stuff like that. But majority of the members, they all pretty much got good jobs, got companies, and we got a couple of guys on there, that they do their own thing. But like I said, we don't talk about stuff like
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
We
yeah.
let them do their thing. But yeah, man, right now, like I said, we're in Mexico, United States, and Canada.
Nice.
So our goal is to eventually cross, overseas,
The waters, huh?
Tokyo, Japan. That's my dream, actually.
Damn.
If I
That's
can,
crazy.
if I can start a chapter in Japan, that'd be dope, man.
Like trucks or like imports or what?
Imports, trucks, any cars, side by sides, motorcycles, pretty much anything that has billets on it. Before we were really like real close minded, like nah, what, let's keep it kind of small. And but I think one day, just hey, what, we gotta go, we gotta go at it.
Yeah.
And the way it works, man. So like, say for example, like I run the Houston chapter because before, it's so hard to keep up with so many members. So now each chapter has its own president, and we have a chat that with all the presidents are on it, and pretty much we discussed, hey, we're gonna hit the show, or hey, you know what, one of you guys is messing up, I need you to go ahead and take care of it, and things like that. It's a little bit more organized now than before, but like I said, overall, we're all linked up together, and we go from there.
And talk about a little bit about your background, like you know, where you come from, your roots, and then get into like the truck scene background, your truck scene background.
Pretty much, man. I was born in the Valley in McAllen, Texas, and I moved around a lot, with my family. So I moved to Chicago, came back, and then ended up here in Houston. I've been here in Houston for like over 16 years. So I think hopefully I'll be staying here. Hopefully, work doesn't change, and I won't get relocated. But for the most part, I think this is my city where definitely I feel like it's home. And like I said, I go down south to the valley a lot, and and it just doesn't feel like we're in Houston, man.
Yeah, they got some crazy trucks too in the valley.
Yeah, yeah, definitely a lot of the guys over there. Like I said, we're over there this past weekend, and
How was that? How was the what was the show called again? You said
it was called High Rollers.
High Rollers. Yeah. How was that?
It was nice, man. It was definitely, like I said, it was my first time going to the valley to an actual show. I go to the valley a lot, to visit my mom. My mom stays down there, but it was my first time going to an actual show down there, and everybody shows them, mad love down there, man. We took a couple of trucks down there, and did our thing, and they showed some mad love.
And that was in Edinburgh.
Edinburgh, Texas.
Edinburgh, Texas.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
at the track.
Didn't what's his name? Payo Frontera was there.
Yeah, Payo was there. I think who else was there that I saw? Well, I mean, of course, Intenso and Hermanos Espinosa. A couple of groups were there, but
Nice.
yeah, Payo was out there, taking pictures with his van, stuff like that. So, surprisingly, not a lot of singers that once they make it, they don't come back home and show some love. Like
Yeah, it was
that.
crazy when I seen us. Like, damn, like he's actually at a truck show. Like
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty cool. I mean, the guy was walking around like like nothing, taking pictures of everybody, talking to his fans, stuff like that. So to me, it was pretty cool that dude keeps it pretty humble, and it's not like when most people make it, they don't go back to
Yeah.
top it up with the people and stuff like that.
that's awesome. What do you think about the like the? So tell us about your truck scene background.
My truck scene, man, I started back when I was like 14. I started when I was 14. At the time, there was just old school, truck clubs.
Was that like 30 years ago, 40 years ago?
Probably not. I'm,
Nah.
I'm 32, so I'm not that
I'm
old.
messing with you.
I'm not that old, but I started when I was young, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Like,
I got you.
when you have cousins, you have friends, like you're 13, 14 years old, you're ready to ride, trying to go party and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so I started, like I said, going back in the days. Back in the days, man, it was back in like 2009, 2008.
Oh,
Yeah. You go back. There was all these other truck clubs. Like the truck scene back then. it wasn't like what it is now. I feel like right now, man, in order to keep up with the truck scene, you really got to build like a high end quality build. Back then, you ghetto drop a truck, you cut the springs, flip the springs, the leaf springs on it, and throw some
Yeah.
wheels on it, and you're doing some things on it.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you gotta go all out in order to stand out, man.
Yeah.
And like I said, back in the days, all the other shows. But I'm kind of glad that I started at the time because I learned a lot, man.
Hmm.
And a lot of stuff kind of helped me to where we at now.
And talk about like in '08, '09, the truck scene. I want to get to like more in depth with it. If you can elaborate more on it, like what trucks did you see? You know, where the performance. Because in '08, '09 there wasn't a lot of people tuning
Yeah.
how it is now.
So like back in '08, man, like you really kind of kicked it off in the valley. Like in the
Yeah.
valley, kind of everybody started going, doing the drops. 6.0 was fully built. Cam
Do
stuff.
you think
like
it
that.
started in the Valley or Houston?
I mean, there's gonna be a fight of a comments on this one, but it honestly, I gotta say, man, the Valley's the one that kicked it off. Like, I mean, a lot of people here in Houston, we started it, but in reality, it kicked off in the Valley, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's whenever a lot of the trucks came out, and everybody kind of started doing their own thing over here. So when I started, it was more of a racing than truck shows.
Yeah.
So the guys the group I hanged out with, they were more into racing and stuff like that.
What was that?
That was he used to hang out with Universal. Battleground and Destruction and so the clubs like
Oh
that.
yeah, Destruction.
Yeah, Destruction was out, it was for a long time.
You remember what's his name? Fuck. Was it Tomas? No. Damn, what's his name? Oh, my dad knows his name. But he had like a white extended cab, like a '08 dropped on smoothies. Blue.
Blue.
And then he had a SRT10 single cab. Gray one.
More like a silver color.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I
Wait,
can't.
he's a Güero.
Yeah, I can't think of his name, but
Damn, I forgot his name too though.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
but
he was in Destruction.
He was in
Because I remember it was like D and then Truck Shin. Yeah.
Yeah. No, yeah, that's the guys who used to, back in high school, I used to hang out with them and stuff like that. And then, whenever I started I was into racing a lot. And then when I started getting into trucks.
Oh, Simon. His name was Simon.
Yeah, Simon.
Simon, yeah.
Yeah, now I think now he has an X3 and stuff like that. Like he's more into like the side by sides now.
Yeah.
Than he is, into trucks now. But yeah, that was one of the guys that back in the days. He always had a pretty nice build, and like every now and then he'll sell them and get another one and stuff like that.
Yeah. And what about like the performance wise?
Performance wise, man, like I said, like everybody, everybody in high school started with like a 5.3, cam headers and a tune. And that's what you could afford, back in the days. Unless your daddy and mom's kid,
Yeah.
they pretty much drop whatever you could on the truck.
But there wasn't really like turbo trucks back then either.
Back then, nah, man. Like I said, it was mainly like old motor and nitrous. That's
Yeah.
that's what it was back in the days.
Yeah.
And then on the drop side, most people had airbags on it, but they had a bottle in the bags. They didn't have like compressors or air management
Yeah.
like they do now. So, you go fill up your bottle, and after school you go cruise around to different high schools, and hit the switch some people and stuff like that. So like I said, it was a whole totally different truck scene back in the days, and then like it is now.
What about the wheels back then? Talk about that.
Man, the wheels back then, man. If you had some smoothies, or if you had some center lines, or if you had some bond speeds, I mean, you were killing it, bro.
Yeah.
I know my first set of wheels, it was some 24 set of bond speeds. I think they were the swept blades. I mean, and back then, you didn't have a lip, didn't matter. It's like, oh, they were 24s. You had billets, you were killing it.
Yeah.
So that was my first set of wheels when I actually traded one of my cars for them wheels.
Damn.
I had-
Car?
Yeah, I had a Mustang, a Fox body, and some guy was like, "Hey, man, I posted my car for sale." And back in the days, everybody ran, Facebook and
Craigslist.
Craigslist and stuff like that. So I posted, and some guy hit me up. Hey, bro, I got some wheels. You want to trade for your car? And I mean, the car was just sitting there, so I ended up trading. That was like my high school sweetheart, So. But and then at the time, I got into the trucks real heavy, and I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and do the trade. And so I traded the car for the wheels, and I slapped them on, and
Damn. 24s?
like 24s. Back in the days, we had 24s. I mean, you were
They're the
doing
biggest wheels ever.
Yeah, and then a couple of months passed by, man, and then 26s came out,
Yeah.
and 28, and by 10, by 12s, and then reverse lip, and
Yeah.
they just started kind of going crazy from there.
And the talk about the, and so when you're 14 years old, what truck do you remember? Like, man, that truck was like super sick, or was like it was built like really nice. Because there's one truck I remember. I want to see if like what do you
Man,
what's on your head?
there was a lot of trucks, not a lot I can say they were like fully built like that, but there was one that, definitely, that guy went out, out above, and then Nico, actually from the shop from Baytown, he was in ground zero at the moment, and it was a K5, a orange one. It's like a 68, 69. And I can say, you know what, man, that truck was killing it.
Really?
Yeah.
And what? That was when you were younger?
That's when I was younger. That's whenever, like, I started seeing it. Which one you had in mind? The green one?
Nah, there was one. I would never forget. I would never forget because it looked nice, but it was fast. Paco L7, Paco, the blue one. The
Oh,
single cab.
okay.
That one was nice, and it like it had the reverse slip wheels. The front end was like nice.
Yeah, it was
nice.
definitely one of a kind.
Yeah.
So like racing was, yeah, that was one of the nicest structures out there, But the show scene it was Nico's K5.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Nice. Okay, so tell us how Team Billet started.
It actually started in a little town. I'm not sure if you're familiar with Pasadena and South Houston.
Yeah, yeah,
About that.
yeah.
So it started between South Houston and Pasadena. It was a group of friends, and actually, like 10 of them. And what's it called? At the moment, I was actually in Drastic. I was in the Drastic, Drastic Club. With Lalo and them. And so they started Team Billet, and actually bought the wheels from one of the guys in Team Billet. They had maybe about a month that they had started the club. And then, so I bought the wheels, and at the time, I slapped them on, did a whole paint job on my truck and everything like that, and I slapped the wheels on. And, I was in drag I used to go to shows with them, stuff like that. And after that, like, I felt like, man, it was kind of time to do my own, my own thing. So, I talked to my boy Lalo, and to this day, me and him were real tight. He's the one that paints my trucks and stuff like that. And I was like, hey, man, you know what?
Does he have a shop?
Yeah, here's a shop.
What's it called?
Drastic Changes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Damn. That
Yeah,
shop's been around for a while too.
yeah, it's been, man. When we first painted my truck, we actually painted it in his garage, and
damn.
that's when you first started. Now you go to the shop and it's a whole full blown shop.
Yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah.
yeah. It's a whole different setup.
Nice.
So I just talked to him and like, hey man, you know what? It's time to do my own deal, and I ended up getting out of Drastic, and I was riding solo for a while, and then they got some team be like, hey man, you know what? Join, like your truck is badass, and want you to go ride with us, and like, yeah man, I'll check it out. And a couple of the trucks they had, they were nice. At the time, those were the trucks that, they were kind of popular. At the time, well, that's when Instagram barely started kind of coming in, kicking off. And, so I went with them to a show. And, I liked the vibe, just, they had a banda, they had, taco guy, their family was there. So, like, you know
Yeah.
what, man, this is probably, I feel like I fit in. And so I ended up joining. And then about 2 or 3 months later, man, the kind of club started kind of dying. People started selling their trucks. People started getting married
Team Billet.
from Team Billet.
Oh, damn.
So like
And what year was this? So
by 2011,
okay.
2011. So it was like 4 of us left, in the club, and then the guy that actually. The guys actually started. They're like, "Hey man, we're gonna go and sell our trucks," and they were in the club for a while. But at the same time, it wasn't the same anymore because there was only like 4 or 5 guys that they go to shows, and then 2 of them sold the truck. And then it was only like down to 3. Like, hey, we're gonna go and shut it down. So Saul was the actual president the one that got started it. The guy that actually created the logo. His name is Eddie. He's has a shop in Pasadena. His name is Darkside Tent.
Okay.
He's the one that actually created the logo for Team Billet. He's the one that designed it. And pretty much, hey guys, this is your logo. Run with it.
Yeah.
And then so
Super unique, by the way.
Yeah,
Like,
it's
no. And there's whenever you see the logo Team Billet, like you know what I'm saying? Like that. It makes it's a stamp.
Most people they're like, Billy. They don't really see the team, because it's kind of small. But everybody, when everybody sees it, they're like, oh, it's Team Billy. So whenever he's all like, hey man, you know what, we're gonna shut down the club. Like, you know what, man, he was going through a divorce and taking care of business of his shop and stuff like that. Like, you know what, man, I'll take over. He's all like, all right, well, go ahead and run with it. So first, I got a couple of my boys.
Hold on. Did you pay for it, or
No,
like
no, it's just-
was there any money involved or anything?
No, at the time, the account, I think he only had like $300 in the account. We have an account, and that were we'll go to shows, events stuff that. So it was like $300 on there. So we ended up using that money to go to another show that the following month, and we used that and we covered that. We bought some food and beer and stuff like that. So after that, I took on it, and that was like in June, July. So that year, I go to SEMA, in Las Vegas, and I actually met up with a couple of guys in Vegas, and they were from Cali. And they're like, hey, man, we seen what you guys do at the shows, like a couple of the guys were from Swift, a couple of guys were from Nocturno, like other different clubs.
I remember Swift. That's some nice
Yeah,
tricks.
yeah, there's some they were in a whole different level, man. Like I
Yeah.
said, back in the days, them dudes they were going at it. I mean, they're still pretty alive, it's a whole different scene, with them
Yeah.
and with us. So I went to Vegas and I was at Zima. So that's when the Cali chapter kicked off in 2012.
Oh, okay.
So there was like 4 or 5 of them, and then Cali, just kind of grew. Like like within a couple of months, they were already 20 guys deep.
Damn.
And then came back to Texas, and then I met some guys here from Austin. So we, this time we started branching out to Austin, Dallas, and then my president from Forward in Dallas, he was in Swift too.
Mm.
And he just, he was like, hey, man, I like your style, like I'm in Swift right now, but what I gotta do, start Team Billet. Like, man, you know what? Well, we don't have too many rules, just do your thing right with Swift, go ahead and get out, and then, we give you a chapter.
Mm.
So he ended up getting like 4 or 5 trucks, and he gave him a chapter. Then from there, Oklahoma came, and pretty much I started spreading out. And for a long time, like when Team Billet first started, it was just a group of friends that wanted to just kind of keep it small. Like, hey, you know what? Let's just hang out, and that's it. But when I took over it, we pretty much blew up, and that's when we started branching out.
Damn.
And then in 20,
Can you talk about before you keep going on? Can you talk about the requirements before to get in Team Billet?
man, before it was real simple, man. Like, say, hey, get 24, 26s, 26 by 10s, cut your diff on it, and lower it, and, nice paint job, and you're in.
So nice paint job, and
And
of course
a
Team
nice drop.
Billets.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the main thing. You had to have billets.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
had a couple
yeah.
of people like, hey, you had some chrome wheels. Like, man, bro,
You kind of don't represent the logo, man.
kind of defeats the whole purpose
Yeah.
behind it. So they're like, nah, man. So we got a couple of guys that they had Forjados and stuff like that. They're like, hey,
Oh,
man,
yeah.
those are chrome wheels, unfortunately,
Yeah.
And so like get some billets, and some people, they were about it, man. They sold the wheels, got some intro wheels, race line, and they came on it.
Damn. So keep going with the.
So back in, I want to say like 2017, 2018, and I ended up, going through some family problems, and so I like, I stepped by for a little bit. I like, you know what, man, I can't handle both. I can't handle the club. I can't handle, my personal life. So I ended up stepping out, and then I gave the title to one of my boys. His name was Edgar, and he ended up running with it. He was on it, running for like a whole year, and and it was just kind of. It was going, but he never kind of just stay still, and things weren't looking so good. So that's whenever I started kind of fixing my problems, and I came back to the club, and that's whenever we started going 100%.
You missed it whenever you left.
Whenever I left, yeah, man, like I said, I took care of all my family problems and my family situation, and it was nice stuff like that. But deep down behind my head, I was like, man, I wish I was at the shows with the boys, and I wish I
Yeah.
was cruising my truck. I wish I was, partying with the boys, and
Oh
at
yeah.
the end of the day, man, it's you can't. How can I say it? It's the feeling that once you're part of something, it's kind of hard to let it go,
Yeah.
And I had to get back to it, and I said this time, you know what, man, I'm not gonna let nothing come between it. If they're gonna run with it, cool. If not, then move around.
Yeah. Especially like when you start so young. Like you're 14 years old. You get in the truck game, and then you're like, damn, you're older now, and I mean, it's like kind of embedded. Like it's like your religion, kind of.
Yeah, it's
Like
kind of
it-
it's like a culture that you grow up on,
Yeah.
man, and that's all you know. Like
Yeah.
what, hey, show season comes around, and hey, we got to go to the shows.
Yeah. 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 So talk about now. Like, what are the requirements now to get in Team Billet?
Man, now it's crazy, man. Like it gets so crazy to the point that when people hit me up, and I try to respond to most people, but at the same time, I get so many DMs.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to keep up with everybody. But like for example, for a lower truck, if it's not a classic or like a sports truck, like like a Lightning or like a 454 or like an OBS, you got to be bagged on 26s, 26 by 12s in the back. Custom paint job and custom interior and stuff like that. We
Mm.
got a side by side, 10-inch lift, 26-inch wheels, custom cage, custom system. If you got a lifted game, the lifted game is right now is ridiculous. Like
Really?
yeah, I mean right
Talk about
now
that. Talk about the lifted.
the lifted game, man. We actually, I feel like the requirement that we have is really like anybody can do it. And what I mean by that, because when you buy a lift, you're already paying for it. So a couple of thousand more, you're gonna get a nicer lift. So ours is like a 12-inch lift, 26 is particle suspension, color match front end on a lifted truck, and pretty much petition for the club. 3 shows, 3 meetings, and you join the club.
Damn. So
So
like bulletproof lift pretty much, and up because
more like FDS,
okay.
Cognito stuff like that. Striker stuff like that. So we try to stay away from like all the other lifts and stuff
Yeah.
like that, just because it's not fair for the guys to spend 50,000,
Oh, got you.
50, 60,000 on suspension, and let some guy
Yeah.
come in with like a $3,000 suspension. Be like, damn,
Yeah.
bro, what's up with this?
So okay, so if they have a McGavi's 9-inch with the 3-inch body lift, that was not gonna work.
Man, back in the day, back in the days, we would let that slide, but nowadays, man, we're not that we're being picky about it, but it's just like I said, we try to make it fair with the rest of the
Yeah.
guys that they're doing the one-off lifts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we get a lot of those that they got a 9-inch lift. Like, hey, bro, well, back in the days, like, man, bro, them days are gone.
Yeah.
And it's like anything, you got to keep up with the trucks and you got to keep up with with the other clubs, and
Yep.
and there's a lot of other clubs, bro, that they might be small, but they got some nice builds.
Yeah. And before, so sorry to change it up, but before, what truck clubs or truck crews were killing it when you were like when you first came in?
Man, when I first came in, it was Ground Zero.
Yeah.
Drastic was really on top on it, and we had Damage Inc. that they were, they were actually the OGs, and you had those are kind of like the main clubs around here in Houston, Big Town, and the Valley and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you go past out of state, you had Sabotage, you had Negative Camber, you have Acrophobia, you have Swift, you have
Yeah.
Nocturno, you have other bigger clubs. But here locally, Ground Zero, Drastic,
Do they ever compare y'all a lot, Ground Zero and Team Billet? I felt
Man.
like that was there was a year where they were like, who has better trucks, Team Billet, Ground Zero? You know what I mean?
man,
I remember going to the shows and like,
for a little moment, man, we had not a rivalry, like I said, because I learned a lot from them.
yeah,
And said I have a mad love to them guys. Like everywhere I see them, we usually try to park close to each other because we're always kind of vibing with each other. But at one point, I mean, they were on top, and like I say it here, and I tell them, like one point they were on top, you know,
yeah, they were killing it for real.
yeah, they were killing it, But at the same time, all the OGs that actually build real nice rides, they're worn out,
Mm-hmm.
It's time, they had their time. Now they actually go to shows and actually enjoy it. And now most of the OGs, they go to actual shows where you go and camp out or you go and it's real relaxed. They really don't want to be out there, and in the whole,
Desmadre and
this
stuff like
modeling
yeah,
shit.
yeah, yeah.
They want to go to more like a chill,
Yeah,
show,
like family vibes.
Yeah, like family
Yeah.
vibes, and most of the time, which it's all love. I go to all kinds of different shows. This weekend's gonna be a Desmadre show.
Yeah,
And most of my young guys, that's what they want to do. Hey,
Yeah.
you want to go party, hear a badass group, and to other clubs, it's kind of like, man, those stock watches, And
Yeah.
that's how unfortunately, that's how they categorize a lot of people, and I try to keep it, the same way. Like, you know what, bro? Everybody, they got different type of, truck scenes,
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, back in the days, man, like I say, for a little while, it was between Drastic, Team Bid, and Ground Zero, and we're kind of like, who had better rides,
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, what we actually came and kind of sort of passed everybody, when we came down with the lifter game.
Yeah.
I mean, my West Texas chapter, man, they built SEMA rides, Florida guys, they built, SEMA builds, every year, we take 6 to 7 builds to SEMA. And, that's whenever we kind of separated from the rest, A lot of they had a lot of bad builds, but it's only like 1 or 2 guys that had nice builds. And us, we got probably 40, 50 guys that go to SEMA, like, the build like a different category type of build,
When did you know that you were like surpassing other clubs in Houston? Like, what year was that?
Man, I want to say like 2018, 2019.
Mm.
That's when I realized, what? These other clubs ain't really doing what we're doing,
Yeah.
You go to, you you see their builds, and then like I said, they have 2 or 3 guys that are really killing it, but the rest of the club is kind of just coasting it.
Yeah.
And then when we saw our guys, man, we're going full blast.
And talk about the lifted scene. What truck is killing it right now that you see?
Man, right now, honestly, man, we have a lot. We have in Florida, we have about 8 trucks that actually, they're in a whole different level.
Mm-hmm.
In Canada, Cal's Custom, definitely builds every year, builds a one of a kind build. And then West Texas, and Tweety's Tired, always comes those.
Oh yeah.
So right now in West Texas, I think the one is really killing it. We have 3 in West Texas that you can say they can't compare with nobody else. We have a Hollywood Mike, which is a Gen 1 Ford dually. The whole suspension's engraved, frame toe powder coated
Damn.
on 30s, and then we have Titin. We have 24-inch left on store shocks on 30s, overlays and everything. And then we have Tweety's has a single cab that he's working on, and then he has the '79 Ford crew cab, which is the only one in West Texas. So
Nice.
yeah, so definitely,
What ab-
definitely.
what about in Houston?
In Houston, the lifting game, I think we really don't have. We're more linked to lower trucks. So in the lower trucks, in Houston, at one point we're kind of getting away from the lower trucks. There's nothing but lifter trucks.
Yeah.
And we had Caesar's truck. We had a FTS all chromed out, rose gold plated and everything. And it
Damn.
got to a point that you were like, man, you know what? We're kind of drafting away from what we originally started.
Mm-hmm.
So and that's when and then it kind of rotated again and started going back to the lower scene.
What about the lower scene in Houston?
In Houston right now, I think who has one of the best trucks probably going to be my boy Rubio, with the C10. Is the one that got built by Extensive.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's like a burgundy maroonish color.
Nice.
It's probably the nicest one is here in Houston. And it's like I said, it's the only one with a one-off frame, one-off motor, one-off interior, one-off paint job, pretty much a one-off everything.
Nice.
And it's like I said, it's the only one that has the OT5 motor.
Mm-hmm.
And there's another, like I said, a bunch of other people in Houston that have really nice trucks. Like Ricky Holly, has a nice Uni C10. We had a couple of Andy Ruby had another nice truck. Alamo Custom has another nice truck. So there's people here in Houston, man. They got some nice rides, man. They got Julio from Ground Zero. He has a couple of really nice builds. Fully, like I say, fully frame off.
Fully,
builds.
yeah. And when you say fully frame, you meant like taking off the cab, taking off everything.
Yeah, when you're in a fully frame off, it's pretty much you're starting from the frame and ground up.
Yeah.
So you pretty much either do a custom frame or modify the stock frame, or like most of the time if you're really doing the build, you're doing a full custom frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, most of the people that want to kind of cheat a little bit and modify the stock frame, to me, like, yeah, you're doing it, but you're really not doing it.
Yeah. So what does it cost to build one of those trucks in West Texas? Like you said, one of ones. What would be like the ballpark number?
On a lifted one,
Yeah.
man, look, just a ballpark. Wheels and tires, wheels are usually about 12 G's.
Mm-hmm.
Tires, each tire is like $3,000. So
Each tire?
each tire, like for a 30,
Sheesh.
yeah, you're looking at about $3,000.
That's a mortgage payment
Yeah.
for a tire.
Yeah, so but like I said, most of the time, like most of our members, they go to SEMA and they hit up about 10, 15 shows. A lot of times, all these big companies they help us out. So let's say, for example, instead of paying $3,000 for a tire, we get it for like $1,800.
Oh, nice.
So,
So
like-
you get like wholesale.
So you get like a wholesale price.
Yeah.
So, a lot of times, like for example, these guys that build 2-3 trucks, like without the years, they already got their sponsors and stuff like that. So that's how a lot of times they're like, man, you're not gonna go pay $30,000, on just wheels and tires.
Yeah.
But if you, like I said, if you got sponsors and stuff like that, it makes it a little smoother just to go ahead and go out there.
So what would be the ballpark price?
Man, you're looking about like say for example, you're gonna build a brand new truck like a 2023 or 2024. You're already looking about $100,000, 110. Suspension another 50.
And what do you start out with? Sorry to cut you off, but
First-
1,500, 2,500, 3,500. What would be the one for a lifted truck?
Man, for me, I love dualies. To me, it'd be about 3,500 or F350 or
Gas or
F350.
diesel?
Diesel.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't go with a gasser, bro. You see those gassers, man, they be struggling through
Yeah.
the road. Yeah, but like if I were to build like like a one-off frame off, it'd be a 2,500, either Denali or High Country, or like an F250, single wheelbase in the back, 30s on it for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, you're looking about anywhere from 150 to 185,
Fully.
fully done. Like I'm talking about fully done, suspension, wheels.
Damn.
custom bumpers, custom grill, color match, lights, all the rock lights, stuff like that. So
And then you can slap a Team Billet sticker.
then you can slap the Team Billet sticker on.
Damn. And what about the drop?
Drop, like I said, it just depends, man. You can go anywhere from like right now in the days, man. Honestly, you know, without screwing around, you need at least about 60 G's to build a drop truck, or like a bag truck. And like I said, anybody can sit there and tell you, oh, no, I could do it for less. In reality, bro, it's not. Because, let's say you're going to buy the truck. You could buy a cheap truck, for 10, 15 G's, like a little single cab. And, that's already, that's getting a deal. Wheels, you're looking anywhere from 75 to 95 if you're going to get 28s and 30s or 28.6 and 28. And then, you got a narrower end. You got to go and do your air management. You got to do your suspension fab work, your bed work,
Yeah.
So you're already at 50.
Yeah.
And then you still got to go ahead and go back on and paint the truck. To get a decent paint job nowadays in Houston, man, you're looking anywhere from 85 to 12 grand.
Yeah.
And that's, ballpark.
And is that like a flat color? Or is that like with
I mean, you could do once you do a paint job, it just depends how crazy you want to get.
Yeah,
If you want
yeah.
to stick with 10 color, it's going to be anywhere from, 80, like say 85 to 12 G's, Once you start going to do like, oh, I'm going to do like a custom color.
Yeah, custom.
You're talking about, taking the windshields off, taking the whole front end off of it, taking the bed off of it, painting on the bottom of the rockers and everything.
Yeah, that's like the right way to do
The
it.
right way to do it.
Yeah.
If you want to go to, go to Northside and get you a little $5,000 paint job, then
Yeah.
that's a different story.
Yeah.
But like I said, most of the time, if you're gonna do a right paint job, it's anywhere from 85 to 12 G's.
Yeah.
To do a fully a right paint job.
And I think when you said that when you said it can be done cheaper, they probably think that it's not that much of a big deal, like air ride's not that much or
Man,
wheels are not that much,
look,
or like
I'll do
they
a
can
little-
get the wheels from Facebook or something.
I could do a little breakdown, and then like I said, if I was to do a budget build, and let's say for example buying used wheels and then buying used air management, and going to the cheapest fab shop, on the long run, you end up wasting more money because you got to fix all their stuff that they did wrong on it.
Yeah.
And it's like I tell everybody, hey, if you're gonna build something, if you have the money, do it. If you don't got the money, do it in sections. First get you the wheels, because without the wheels, you can't do nothing. So like I tell everybody, hey, Sevo, get the wheels, because that's the most expensive part. Tienes que tener el chingazo de 8,500 or 9,000. Y a lot of times, it's a little chunk change,
Yeah, for sure. And so whenever they get into the wheels and stuff, right? What type of tires they usually put on them? Like rubber bands?
It just
Or-
depends on what you're doing, bro. Like let's say for example, you're gonna build a truck because you want to enjoy it, like as in like on the weekend.
Or like on a drop truck.
Like
you
in
were
a
talking
back
about.
truck, I would like say depend on the year. If you can do like a 99 to 2006, I would do 26 and 28. Now we can go ahead and run like it's in the front like a 275 2430, and then
275, 25, you said?
275 30.
Oh, okay.
26.
Got you.
And then or like you do a 255 30 26. On the back is only one, they only make one size for the 28. And it's like I said 295 25 28. And that's like I said, and that's kind of a rubber band, but if you get a 12, it somewhat stretches a little bit where it's still nice to drive.
So you I'm sure you drove a lot of trucks in your lifetime. How does it feel when you ride on a stock truck versus a bag truck with air ride?
Man, it's like a night and day difference.
Really?
But I'll tell you straight up, if you don't know how to drive a back truck,
Don't do it.
it's gonna be hard the first time time you drive, because you don't know. Let's say for example, you got static, you got drop, static, bagged, and bodied,
Oh,
and then you go to the next level is doored. So not a lot of people know about doored. So,
explain that.
So let's say for example, when you're laying body, it lays on the body, right, in the rockers. When you're doored, they actually cut the pinch point of the rocker and it lays on the actual door.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, so that when you're in that level, I mean, you're in a whole different level. So if you door the truck, I mean, whenever you lay it out and there's a little rock on it, you're gonna lay on the door.
Damn.
You gotta be real careful with that. So I've been through the whole stages. When I first started, endless, and I started static. So I was one of the lowest trucks, in Houston. I had a 13 on the front and a 15-inch drop in the back. So I was like literally a finger on the frame on the floor. You know,
Wow.
like I'll switch lanes and I'll pick up the reflector. Straight up, yeah. I was in the freeway and
Golly.
I switched lanes and I had to be real careful. I had to switch lanes because
Yeah.
it would definitely pick up a reflector on it.
That's crazy,
So,
Lou.
what made me change that, man? It's one day, I was coming back from Midtown, and I had a few drinks. I was already tipsy, so I was coming over the train tracks, and I was kind of hauling ass. So I got stuck in the train track,
Oh, damn.
like dead stop. Like the whole truck turned off and everything. That's when I said, you know what, man, change the shit up.
Time to raise it a little
Time,
bit.
time to go ahead and put bags on it. So the first time that I bagged the truck, I bagged it with John. At the time it was called Blacktop Industries, and then we bagged it in like 2 weeks. He's all like, man, I'll bag it in 2 weeks. And like, you know what? If you do it in 2 weeks, like, let's bag it. So man, we after work we'll go to the shop and we work on it, and then in 2 weeks we'll spit it out. So in 2 weeks, I was already on airbags, and at the
Damn.
time I already drove a lot of airbags trucks. So then I bagged it, and that's whenever I really started enjoying it a little bit more.
The was air management. Did you have air management on yours, or was it just
At the time we had actually
just valves?
I had valves on it.
Oh,
At the
okay.
time, and they already had air management on it, but at the time I was like, man, do I want to pay $2,000 or do I just want to pay $400 for some valves?
Yeah.
So we ended up running valves on it, but I ended up doing 8 valves on it, so that way each bag was independent on it. So
Yeah.
at the front I can manage it. If it's lower on one side, I can pick up one side and stuff like that.
So you had 2 valves per wheel.
Yeah, I had I had 4 valves for each corner,
Mm-hmm.
and I had and what's it called, and I had a 1 valve for the whole truck.
Oh, got you.
So it was a total 8 valves on it. So that way, I can either pick up the truck all at once, or two side to side, or I could do front and back.
Mm-hmm.
So I rocked it for a while, and then like I said, but back to what your question was, do you feel the difference? Yes, you do, but you got to learn your truck, and even if it's not your truck, you got to learn the truck in order for you to get a sweet ride. There's like how can I say? There's like a sweet spot when you're driving a back truck. It's like you got to find it so that way it can be an enjoyable ride. Because if you have too much air on the back, it's real stiff. If you took too much air off it, it's real stiff. So you got to find that sweet spot on that truck.
Oh, got you.
So like I said, once you find that sweet spot, man, you're gonna enjoy that ride, man. And you can drive it and literally let go of your steering wheel, and it's gonna go straight.
Is there like certain shocks y'all run like
Man.
on drop trucks?
It goes.
Or,
It goes
air ride.
It goes based on how much you want to spend. You got
But what I'm saying is like, is there, from your experience, is there a certain shock you run
mine preferably, man.
to get the best quality ride?
To me, I run Fox Shocks.
Oh, okay.
Fox Shocks, and it has like a 3-stage level on it. Most people run the QU ones, and most people run the Beltex on it, the Right Tech on it. And they're a little cheaper than Fox. You go at a Fox Shock, you're looking at about $250 per shock. And you go to Right Tech, you buy all 4 of them for like $250. So it just depends how much money you spend. But to me, like, if you got a good shock, a good bag, and it's laid out the way it is, then you're gonna get a good ride.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
on those, you got a knob that you can actually go ahead and rotate to where you have 3 stages on it, so you can first, second, and third. And if you put it right on second, it gives you that nice ride on it.
And is there a double, single adjustable or double?
It's actually it's a single shock with a reservoir, and it's adjustable three
Oh,
knobs on it.
okay. Yeah. So you would, I think, man, so you adjust the, um, what is it called? Because I had those on my truck.
You just adjust the stiffness on it.
Yeah, the stiffness, yeah.
It's
Like you
it's
turn-
actually
lock it.
the pressure it is on it. So
Yeah.
as much pressure you want on it, that's how
Yeah.
good it's gonna ride.
So let's get into your truck. What truck did you start with?
I started with a 99 single cab step side, and then that one was lowered. It was like a 5.7 drop, and you only had like 22s on it. But that was the truck that I kind of came into the truck scene with. But the one I actually started with, it was a 1991 OBS 350 with 5-speed. That's the one I really started. That's when I tell you know what, this is my first truck that I started with.
Yeah.
That was back when I was like 15.
And now?
Now I have an endless, that one's kind of be like the truck that's been through it all and came out and left, died, and came back.
Yeah.
And we're trying to revive it right now.
Icar said, ask him when he's going to finish it.
Man, that's a good question. Hopefully this year, bro. That's the plan. So I have inlets, and then I have pork chop my dually, and then I have a cat eye '06 single cab that's gonna I'll make that one to like a more of a burnout truck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna drop a LT4 on that one, and then fully built tranny, fully built rear end, and vamos a pagar el palo ese.
For the shows.
Yeah, just to go around.
Trying to win a burnout pit contest.
Not really, man, but man, it's like back in the days, when I had endless, and just on regular wheels, you go out there and you don't gotta be worrying about, man, I'm gonna scratch my wheel, or you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and I want a truck that I can go ahead and go out there and tear it up. Like
Yeah.
I say,
Yeah.
endless is gonna be one of those builds, man, that
Trailer King.
I'm gonna trailer for a whole show season, and after that, I want to enjoy it.
Mm.
So this time, I'm gonna build it to where I can actually drive it, and enjoy it, and actually have one. But for a whole show season, I want to go ahead and trailer it, take care of it, and just because it's taken me, like 4 years this time around to
4 years to build it?
to build it this time around. So
Damn.
I've been building that truck for probably over 12 years, and I built it, got done, got shot for magazine, and then I took it apart, built it again, and then I was already done. All I had to just do was the seats. And like I said, that was the first truck that that ever came out that I engraved the transmission, and I did the floor, like you can actually see through it, see the transmission engraved and stuff like that. I mean, that truck was pretty flawless. The only thing was missing the seats, and one day, I want to body it, and I sold the frame, and then I sold the bed, and then it just kind of went downhill from there.
Oh, damn.
So the shop that was going to be the frame, yeah, bro, I have it done for you, built in, a couple of months, and like, all right, well, a couple of months without the truck, it can't be bad.
Yeah.
And then a couple of months passed by, and nothing, it wasn't done, and I was like, man, so I kind of regretting it. And then a year passed by, and I was like, man, I ain't got no truck. And then another 4 months passed by, and nothing was done. So I finally get my frame. I got it built over there in California with Eric, Next Level Customs. Finally get my frame, and I start kind of working on it. Take it to one shop, and the shop closes. They had a fallout, between the partners, and
Oh, damn.
the shop closes. It calls me, hey man, come pick up your truck. And the truck was in like 10,000 pieces. So I took it to another shop, and then luckily they were able to get me in. And
They didn't even try to finish your truck, though? Like,
man, he told me like, hey man, I'm going to Vegas. I can take the truck with me and finish it for you, but I was like, man, I can't be going to Vegas and coming
Hell
back.
no.
So I was like, hell. And the guy's pretty legit, man. Like I said, no, like I said, me and him we're tight, but
what shop was that?
it's man, I forgot the name of that shop. But Sean is the guy that that we're real tight.
Got you.
And he's like, hey man, let me take it to Vegas. I'll finish it for you, and then whenever it's done, you come pick it up. But I was like, man, hell no. If over here, I have a hard time with you guys. Imagine going way over there. I was like, nah, you know what, man. So one of my boys took it in, and what's it called? Started working on it, got it somewhat done, and I was able to at least get a roller, because at the time I couldn't even roll it. And now he became a roller. So then I started working on it, and took my bed, and got the bed done, sheet metal done. And then right now they're actually working on the engine bay on it. So hopefully June 1st, the engine bay will be done. We'll be posting the video and showing everybody what we did on the engine bay. Once that's done, then, I'll take it back to Speed Lab or Boost Tech Fab, and then get it running 100%, then blow it all apart, and go ahead and get it done this time.
Nice. So talk a little bit about your truck. Like, what's all done to it besides, the see-through floor.
So right now it's pretty much a full frame. It's a custom one-off frame, and it pretty much got overlays. It all been engraved. The motor it's a 6.0 turbocharged. It's pushing about, well, it was pushing because it ain't running right now.
Yeah.
But it was pushing right about 700 horsepower.
Nice.
At the time, it was a lot. Right now, you got bills that are pushing almost 2,000 horsepower, which at the end of the day, this is more of a show truck. It's not.
I think the minimum right now for racing is 1,000. That's like every day.
That's like a weekend truck right
yeah,
now.
Yeah.
So in order to stand out, man, you got to be close to the 2,000.
Yeah.
If you really want to have a fast truck, so
1,000 horsepower is like grocery getter. Pretty much like
you drop a LT4, fully done, tuned and nitrous, and you're already at 1,100 horsepower.
So, yep.
Or you drop a 4.8 from a junkyard in a 88 millimeter turbo, 90 millimeter turbo, and on methanol and or E85, you're already at 1,000 horsepower.
Yeah. Yep. That's true.
So that's I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm not gonna mess with the motor because it's already ARP studded out and everything.
Oh, nice.
So I'm just gonna go ahead and leave that motor on it, and get it running right and blow it all apart. So right now the bodywork's done already. It's already painted. So right now they're waiting on the cab and the engine bay so we can go ahead and get that taken apart and blown out. So we're doing a custom off color this time, so it's gonna be something crazy.
Nice.
So not as crazy as last time, but it's kind of like I'm gonna throw them a little curveball. So first I'm gonna take it out. It's kind of boring, just a single color, and then I'm gonna come back and do some crazy graphics on it.
What what are some shops that work on it? Like you want to give a shout out to?
So right now, man, that truck's been it's kind of like unfortunately I can't say it on the YouTube channel because some people are a little sensitive. So
Yeah.
that truck's been touched by everybody. That truck's been touched by
Yeah, yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
So the beta got done with Pilots Customs in Southeast Houston.
Yeah.
The engine bay is getting done by Hectic Creations in Dallas. The frame got done with Next Level Customs in California. The the front quarter part got done with Finesse Concepts in Humboldt, Texas.
Nice.
And then the front control arms, open lower controls got done with Extreme Creations in Magnolia, Texas. And pretty much the paint job's going to be done by Drastic Changes. Graphics, I don't know yet. The guy that did my graphics last time, he's painting planes and shit. So I don't know.
Oh, damn, really?
Yeah, so I don't know. I got to catch him in a good time. So because that's probably one of the best guys in Houston that gets down on graphics, bro. His name is Enhance Air 713. He's probably the only dude that I can think that he can do what I vision. So
Oh,
whatever I got in mind, he can actually go ahead and get it and just scramble it all together and come with something crazy.
this is out of the podcast, but what planes is he painting?
He's playing pretty much like a private company, like jets and stuff like that.
Got
So,
you.
yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, so he's like, hey, dude, I'm so backed up right now, I can't touch your truck, So that's the only guy that I honestly I want. When he first did my graphics, they were definitely one of a kind when they did them the first time, and then like kind of a lot of people started kind of like not jocking the ideas, but kind of like using some other ideas.
Yeah.
And so now I want to come up with something crazy. So if he can't do them, then I'm gonna go to Cali.
Oh, got you.
Yeah, Cali got a lot of guys that they go hard on it with the graphics.
Oh yeah, go hard. What are some other shops in Houston that do like really good work? I know you mentioned Boost Tech Fab, you mentioned Speed Lab.
It depends on what you want to do, man. Like say another day, if you want to go ahead and do your like interior, I go to Enrique's. Enrique's one of the guys in Houston that definitely can go ahead and. The reason I like going to him because you tell him what to do and he's gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
He's not like another shop that tells you, oh, you know what, we shouldn't do that, or you know what, that's what you want, that's what we're gonna do. And if you don't like it, we'll redo it again.
Oh, damn, nice.
So he's pretty cool. And so interior guys, Enriquez, gets down. And then we got guys by designs too. That guys gets down too. Like Enriquez does more like a factory type of deal. And guys by design does more of a custom. Like if you want a custom door panel. And we also got my boy J.A. He does. He's a little more low key, but he does custom stuff. Suspension wise, like I said, it's a hit and miss, bro. Every shop has flaws.
Really?
Every shop has flaws, and I'm cool with all of them, but they all have flaws. So it depends. Like you could go do your rear suspension in one shop, and then go to another shop and do your front suspension because one's good in the front and they're not good in the back. So you kind of gotta play your cards right.
That's pretty cool to hear on the podcast because, yeah. You get your own point of view on the person getting it done.
Yeah, like I said, a lot of times, and then like I said, I'm cool with most of the shops, and I I always tell them, you know what, man, you're a badass to the front suspension, bro. In the back, I ain't fucking with you, Or like, vice versa. Hey, you know what, I'm gonna let you do the front, but I ain't let you do the back.
Yeah.
And he goes like that. But like I said, every shop's lousy, and at the end of the day, man, it's one of those deals that as you build trucks in the year, and the years go by, you learn on what to do, what not to do, and what shortcuts to take, which ones not to take, But like I say, if it comes to fab work, man, Speed Lab, Creations, that dude is, he's the one that did, most of my piping on my turbo side, and then Boost Tech Fab, when because Speed Lab, man, he got about a year wait.
Really?
Where he lives. And Boost Tech Fab, you go in there, that dude's about his money. Hey, bro, in and out, I only work on what I'm going to work on and spit it out.
Yeah.
And Speed Lab, he's one of those that he's going to go ahead and get you a crazy setup, but he's going to go ahead and, take his time with his build, But they're both really good. Like I say, I miss with both of them, but at the end of the day, those are the best shops that I can recommend that you're going to get your money's worth.
Yeah. That dude does really good welding too.
Yeah.
What's his name? From Boost Tech. He did my turbo.
Angel.
Yeah. Angel. Shout out to Angel.
Yeah.
What about the paint? Palace Customs?
Man,
Or
paint jobs, man. Like I said, you got about 4 or 5, different shops. They do paint jobs. I mean, paint jobs. Honestly, I got to give it to Drastic. He's one of the dudes that takes pride in his work and is gonna do it 100%.
Got you.
Probably he's really good at sheet metal. I don't know if we'll let him do a full paint job.
Yeah.
And that's just being real.
Yeah, that's real. Yeah.
Yeah, just being real. Like he's a badass guy for sheet metal. And at the end of the day, but for paint jobs, he doesn't have his own boots, so a lot of times it might be that,
Yeah.
or it might be that he doesn't have the right people to go and succeed a good paint job.
Motor work.
Motor work, man, that's a tough one. But if you want, like I said, honest work, legit work, man. Like I said, Speed Lab Creations, Boostek Fab. We got my boy Webo from Motorhouse Performance. He gets down too. So that's only 3 shops really in performance. Dropper Us gets down to motor work. So like I said, for example, it depends on what you want to do.
Do you remember a shop called This is kind of off topic, called Castilla Performance?
Oh yeah, man. I went there one time, and them dudes they started really good.
Yeah.
They started really good, and then
Pablo and
Pablo and Juan. What's it, Juan?
his brother. Forgot his brother's name.
Yeah, Pablo's the one that was missing a leg, and
Yeah.
then the other guy. I don't know if it was Juan or the younger one.
He looked like Rob, like Rob the rapper. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yeah, they started off really good, man. They were actually off of navigation,
Yeah.
and right behind the fire station, and they started really good, man. They were, when I went in there, I built 2 trainings with them. They were legit, and then when I went back for the third time with some heads, man, there was no heads or no money. So I was like, man, I kind of got burned out on those deals, but.
Yeah.
And then his brother came back, and Pablo, he made it up. He made it right, man. He's like, you know what, man? I'm not sure what deal you made with my brother, but I'll go ahead and, I'll give you a set of heads, and, we'll make it even,
Yeah.
And, so it takes a lot, man, for somebody to come up and, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and fix somebody else's mistakes,
Yeah.
So he came through and, made it right and made things right. And I told him, you know what, bro, ain't no hard feelings, we just can't do business like that,
Yeah. Cool people.
Yeah, he's a badass guy,
They know me and my dad for a while. For real.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really cool people.
Yeah, that guy, he made things right. So like I said, I can't speak bad about him. It's just one of those deals that sometimes you had a fallout and then you make things right.
For sure. What about what about pork chop? What's done to pork chop?
So pork chop, I got pork chop because I had a F-150 and I was kind of struggling moving the shop, truck to the shop, picking up the frame, stuff like that. Like, man, I'm gonna give me a dually,
Yeah.
So we were looking for a blue dually. So we didn't know if we wanted to go ahead and get a F-350 or a Chevy, 3500. So we wanted a blue one though. And my boys in Alabama found it. Like, hey man, there's a blue one over here in Alabama. I was like, man, we'll go ahead and go ahead and call it in and see if they still have it. So they had it, and then so I flew into Alabama, and then I landed in
Mobile.
Mobile, Alabama, and then from there we drove 5 more hours up to close to Birmingham.
Oh, okay.
That's why they had it over there. And it was kind of like a hidden. It was kind of over in the back, kind of hidden. So I ended up picking it up, drove it back over here, and then Jason from American Forest hit me up and said, "Hey, what are you doing with your duty?" Like, man, I don't know, man.
What do you want to do with it?
Like, man, I don't know. I want to leave it stock, And it's like, man, stock. Let's drop some wheels on it. And so like, well, I got some 24s laying around. I was like, nah, if I do wheels, I'm gonna do 26s. He's like, all right. So he was like, man. So we ended up working out a deal, and then he sent me the wheels. And then I called my boy Tweety, like, hey man, I want to put these wheels. Hey, well, man, I got some bad news. Like, man, what's up? He's like, well, in order to put those wheels, you gotta lift it. And I was like, damn, bro. Like, I really don't want to lift it. Like, I like it how it is. It's like, man, because you won't be able to turn.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, let's go ahead and do it. So we ended up doing like 7 and 9 lift. Like, but I told him, look, we're gonna lift it, but I still want to be able to use it for what it's meant for. I want to put the gooseneck on it, and I want to be able to run and drive it. Like, I don't want to get a truck that I can't use. He's all like, nah, I'm going to make it to where you can still tow, you can still do whatever you want with it. So he ended up doing a 7 and 9 FTS lift on it, and then we ended up powder coating the whole suspension, and then running 37s on it on 26s. And then I started messing with it, so I ended up, my boy from LFTW was like, hey, let's put a system on it. And then I was like, man, I really don't want to mess with it, bro, because then, I got to, now I got to go ahead and get another battery, another alternator, and all that stuff. It's like, man, let's just do it. Let's do something small. So we ended up putting a little bang in it, and then by the time we noticed, we were already doing full blown system on
Full
it.
blown.
And then my boy Enriquez hit me up. He's like, "Hey, I got a sunroof right here." And like, man, how much you want for it? He's like, man, you know what? Pay for the parts and I install it for free. Since you always help me out, I bet. So we ended up doing the sunroof on it, and then the high country front end comes out for the 25.
Oh
2500.
damn. Yeah.
And then homeboy hits me up. He's like, hey, bro, I got a front end here that came incomplete. You want it? I'm like, man, not really, bro. I go, man, I cut you a good deal on it. So I ended up, I think the front end was like 6 grand, and then I ended up getting it for like 2,800. So I jumped on it. So I ended up jumping and I hit up Lalo. Hey, bro, I want to color match the bumpers and the door handles and mirrors and shit. And then he's all like, man, I'm really backed up right now, but bring it. I'll make it happen. So he ended up color matching it. And then EG from EG from Custom Audio, he's like, hey, man, you need some rock lights in your truck. I'm like, man, bro, I don't want to mess with it. He's all like, man, bro.
The stock truck turned into
Yeah,
a
so
build.
it ended up turning to like a small build.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So he just hits me up and he's like, man, dude. I go, look, I normally charge this much, but I'm gonna hook you up.
Yeah.
Like, all right, bet. So he ended up hooking me up and sponsoring me for the rock lights on it, and so we put rock lights on it, and then that's pretty much it. So that's how that
That's how most builds start, though, right? They're
Yeah.
like, let's do this, and then
yeah, that's how that
Let's
one
do
started,
that.
and I ended up getting that one so that way I can have something to go to the shows, because I mean everybody go to the shows and don't have a truck, and everybody like, man, you come to the show, where's your truck at? And I was like, man, well, I got the dually now. Yeah, but man, hopefully, like I said,
Endless is still in the garage.
hopefully Endless, like I said, honestly, man, I gotta give it to this guy Hector Creations in Dallas, man. He's so far what he has told me, he's kept his word, and he told me, hey, bro, I'll be done in a month. No, I'll be done in 2 months, and it's been only like 4 weeks and it's already almost done with it.
Nice.
So I mean, that dude, like I said, that's probably one of the shops that I admire a shop that that keeps his word. At the end of the day, if you take pride in your work and you actually stick to your word, man, you're gonna go a long way.
Yeah. Hey, talk about some other trucks in Houston that kind of stand out to you, that you kind of remember. Whether drop or lifts, but out of Team Billet.
Out of Team Billet, man, like I said, like one of the trucks that that I guess inspired me to go ahead and do a fully build. It was Julio's truck. It's a guy from Ground Zero. He actually owns Leon Western, where I'm not sure if you heard of him now.
Yeah, yeah, nice.
His truck was Coyote Ugly. That's one truck that I said, what, this dude really put his thought. I mean, I hope it was his thoughts. I mean, I'm not sure if somebody built it for him or he actually put his thoughts on it.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's one truck that made me realize, what, man, I need to step up my game. Like I feel like Endless, was up there, but it wasn't like at that level, at that caliber of a build that what I wanted to be at.
Yeah.
So that was one truck that caught my attention. And of course, Jose from Delkarloz, Black Widow. He's that truck is real simple but real clean at the same time.
Yeah.
And those are builds that kind of opened my eyes. For like, what, man, I need to step up my game.
Yeah.
And another one of my buddies, Alex from R2R in the Valley. He had I forget what the fuck he calls that truck. It's a yellow one. It's the same thing as Endless, and but his is yellow, of course. And that's another truck that kind of like, what, man, I need to go ahead and body my truck.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, those are the three trucks that I was like, what, man, they're kind of, let's go ahead and step it up a notch. And then 2019, 2020, when my boys came out with the two single cabs, the yellow one and the black one with the rose gold and the yellow one with the white interior.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
When those came out, that's when we actually went another level. Like, what, man, it's time to step it up.
Yeah, those are clean as hell. Really, really nice. And that your buddy's selling one, right? The blue one?
Yeah, the blue one's
Mr. Zavala?
Yeah, he's selling his.
How much does he want for it?
I think he posted it for like 120, which is truly is a good deal, bro.
Really?
You won't build a truck for no less than 180. Yeah, so that truck is like I said, he has about 200 in it, and then that's the reason I tell you because I pretty much built the whole truck,
Mm-hmm.
and
Like your thoughts?
like not the whole thoughts, but like for example, when he first started it, like, hey, what, we're gonna do this color, we're gonna do this graphics, with interior, and stuff like that. That's that's how much more or less I know that he has at least about 200 on it.
Damn.
So I mean, for 120, you're getting a hell of a
On a
deal.
single cab?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so you're getting a hell of a deal for 420.
Y'all ever get like You ever get like not so much famous people, but like maybe a rapper, maybe music artist. I feel like Team Billet is a stamp where like whatever truck you buy for them, it's gonna be like complete, like well done, right? Do you ever get people that like just, hey, I want to buy that truck. You tell me the money, I'm gonna buy it.
We had a couple of, like, for example, like the white one and the black one. We're in SEMA, and then some guy came up there, like, hey, man, I want to buy this truck. It's like, and then my boys are like, man, it was not for sale. I was like, no, well, I got money. And then he's all like, yeah, well, I got money too. So, like, your money doesn't impress me. So it's
Yeah,
one of those
yeah.
deals that, but yeah, we had a couple of guys that offer, like for pork chop, the other day, some guy offered me 100,000 for it. And I was like, man, well, I don't see the money, bro. Like, to me, you're all talk.
Yeah,
So he showed me the money, and to me, money talks. Then
yeah, yeah, yeah.
like somebody shows me 90,000 for endless, I let it go. I mean, I have a lot of sentimental value with it, but at the end of the day, 90 racks, 90 racks.
Yep, yep, yep. What about the one Bud Bundy bought, the red one?
The red one, he ended up buying it from Rios. He got a really good deal on that one, and the deal was, hey, you're gonna buy it, but it's gonna stay in Tim Bellet.
Oh, okay.
So that was kind of like the deal that that's the reason why he stayed in. That's the reason why he sold it, because he was gonna stay in the club.
Got you, got you, got you.
And Bob Bundy always shows loves, and we go to shows. He's always shouts us out, and
Yeah.
rocks the gear and stuff like that. So he's always showing mad love.
Nice. What about who else is in Team Billet in Houston? I know people. A lot of people are gonna know, but there might be some people that know. I mean, that don't know.
Man, we got a whole lot of people. We got these annoying. There's an annoying one that is one of the annoyance. He's somewhat TikTok famous, but oh my god, that nigga right there. You got a OCL. He lift the truck. He's in Team Billet. We got Icar. We Chicky came. You met him. That we got Gordo. We got about 30 members in Houston. So,
Okay.
so a lot. I got Fabian Bray lift the W. So we got Rubio from Texas Hold'em. So we got quite a bit of people. We got about 30 members.
Scarface is.
Scarf is part of Team Billet as well.
What did you think about when you seen him on TV?
Man, when we already had kind of experienced that with Rubio when he was when he was building C10.
Oh, cool.
We did it with Texas Metal over there, extensive.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we're already kind of like, man, that's badass. Whenever a guy is on TV,
That's
like showing
badass,
the build.
yeah.
So it's like a proud feeling that they're part of the club.
Yeah.
So yeah, whenever we saw Scarface too, like, hey man, that's badass. Because I met Scarface when he was working in the refineries, and he was selling like 4 or 5 micheladas over a cooler back of his truck.
Yeah.
So like whenever I met him, and now like it makes me like happy and proud that this guy don't work so hard to step it up to where he's at now.
Mm-hmm. And Rubio was on
Rubio was on
extensive, right?
on a yeah extensive Texas Metal.
How was that like?
Man, that was pretty cool, man. It's definitely actually, as you can see it on TV and you see the back of the scenes, it's like totally different. It's like you're like you see it on TV and then you're seeing it behind the scenes. I'm like, man, that's not how it went down, but but it's pretty cool, man.
Yeah.
How they all piece it up together. And,
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure like your podcast too.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure certain
Cuts,
things like
yeah.
cuts and edit. Hey, you know what? You're not supposed to say that, bro. But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so
Yeah, exactly.
it's pretty cool, man. Like I say, one day, if I ever build a truck like that, that'd be pretty cool to come out on TV and pretty much rep the Team Bellet.
Rep team. That'd be awesome. Really, really awesome. What do you have a problem with in the truck scene?
Man, I think my biggest problem in the truck scene, man, is that some clubs feel like it's like a gang, bro. Like
Oh,
to me, like, man, bro, like it's badass like back in the days to where you can go to another club stand and hang out with them. Like me, like I try to kick it with everybody, but I do notice that some people, if you're wearing a different type of logo on your shirt or a different type of logo on your truck, you can't go hang out with them. So to me, that's my biggest problem. And another thing is like hating on each other. Like, hey, bro, at the end of the day, if there's always gonna be somebody with more money, there's always gonna be somebody with a better truck, there's always gonna be somebody with with better things that you have. But at the end of the day, like, don't hate on another build. At the end of the day, if he can't keep up with that build, then let that boy shine.
Yeah.
I feel like everybody has their time. Like everybody has their time, and to me, like, don't be salty about it. Let that person shine. You had your shine. You had your shine. Let that person shine, and maybe your turn come back again. So that's probably the biggest thing that I have. When somebody's being salty, or somebody's being like treating the clubs like a gang, that you can't hang out with them.
that's kind of been the thing though with in the truck scene for a while though since it started.
Yeah.
Like even like you said in '08 or '09, they something had to like go down, or you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, and
pretty much represent. You
yeah,
know.
there was a time, man. Like we go to shows and we always kind of did our own thing to where we kind of stuck to the side. We always go to show. Hey, put us on the back. Don't even worry about us. We're gonna make our own show.
We're going to
Because
make our own show.
yeah, we're gonna make our own
Yeah,
show. We're
yeah,
gonna make
yeah.
our own deal, and don't worry about us. Just put us somewhere in the back or hit us
Yeah.
on the corner or something. Because man, there's fights and stuff like that. Certain shows and man,
At what show do you remember?
man, like mainly like at the shootouts, like the shootouts, the OTMs, or those fights. So we got to the point that we're like, you know what, we don't want to be with the rest of the crowd because
Yeah.
we had trucks that are 100,000, 200,000, and we don't want to get somebody to throw a bottle and mess up your truck
Yeah.
or somebody drunk, leaning on your truck and not don't scratch it up.
Is that a pet peeve, you think, when somebody like leans on your truck?
Uh,
You ever see like people lean and they have their keys in their pocket?
Oh, yeah.
Oh my god, that
Yeah, that or they wear them. I call them the Mexican pants because they got all the little rhinestones. And
Yeah,
shit
yeah,
on them.
yeah.
So I like to love it. Yeah, man, that definitely it kind of aggravates me. Even like a lot of times, even if I see their own owner leaning on their own truck, I tell them, hey man, don't lean on the damn truck.
Yeah.
Oh, it's my truck. No, I don't care, bro. To get off the truck. Yeah, that to me that gets aggravating, bro. Because at the
Yeah.
end of the day, well, I mean, I take pride in my rides, and for somebody to go and lean on it or put their beer on top of it, like, hey, bro, take that shit off, cause
Yeah.
so that's probably one of, like I said, definitely something that aggravates somebody when they have a fully built.
Yeah. I think Mr. Delkarloz is kind of thirsty, man. We're gonna have to. He said he was gonna bring a bottle, but he was running super late. So next time you come on the podcast, you try to come a little bit early. Nah, that's what you.
Definitely, like I say, we if you do get a chance to come back, man, we definitely go ahead and we're gonna have to take one with me too. Then
I am. What are you talking about?
we'll go ahead and definitely come a little bit more time and try to
Nah,
do
you're
it.
good. You're good. I was messing with you, man.
Shit, you're only like an hour and a half away from me, so shit.
For real?
Yeah.
Damn.
And gotta tap it, bro. You gotta tap it.
Let me see.
Hold it right there. Go ahead and tap the bottom. Oh man, come on now, man. There you go.
Boom. Broke the barrier. We just drunk some with Icor
What? Oh yeah, I did that. That deal was looking. When are you gonna drop that podcast?
tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah. He was a cool dude. He had some good interesting stories I didn't know.
Yeah, that
And
dude.
a lot of people don't know.
Yeah, that dude definitely has a pretty crazy story, man. But back in the days, I mean, he's been through
Yeah.
he's been through some rough stages in life, and like I said, it's a one dude that keeps it real.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, cheers, man.
Shout out to Team Billet, Go Hard Podcast.
Appreciate the
Boom.
invite, man.
What's your favorite tequila?
Man, I definitely have.
This one's from Mexico, by the way.
I didn't hear the marble, bro.
You didn't hear the what?
I didn't hear the marble, so
The marble?
how in Mexico they have a little marble.
No, I didn't know that. Really? I thought it had the stamp right there.
You can put a stamp anywhere. It doesn't cross.
Oh, nah. My grandpa, shout out to my grandpa. He brought this for me from Mexico. He went to San Luis like a month ago.
I don't know. I don't hear the marble, so it might not be Mexican. Nah, man. Like I said, it's my favorite tequila. I really don't drink beer unless I'm at the shows. I try to stay away from beer, but my favorite tequila is called Siete Leguas. It's probably the cheapest tequila you could buy. It's like $45.
Mm-hmm.
But man, you don't wake up with a hangover. You don't wake
Oh,
up with
nice.
no food. If I'm at a club or something, we get Clase Azul or 70 or 1942. It's just mainly for the name, honestly.
Yeah.
But I think my favorite one is Clase Azul.
Glass Azul, nice. Let's get into some pop questions, man. These are just random questions. Would you take 100K in cash or 5 Bitcoin?
Probably cash, bro. I'll take 100K cash.
Why not the Bitcoin?
Man, because the cash, I can flip it. I can make 100 grand. I could make probably 250 grand, with this 100,000.
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin is a little more of a slower process, which I'm not, like I said, I'm not like a huge experience with Bitcoin and anything like that. So, like I said, cash is always king.
Yeah. Your favorite music artist right now?
Spanish, English, or country?
Both. Let's do one Spanish, one English, one country.
I think my Spanish one is probably gonna be Peso Pluma. Right now, it's one of those. You want to go to old school one, probably Carlos y Jose. Yeah, if I'm gonna be drinking, Carlos y Jose is one of
Yeah,
those deals. Or Invasor is one of those deals.
yeah,
English rappers probably Lil Baby, or
nice.
what's his other guy name? Lil Boozy. Uh, in country, well, can't go wrong with George Strait.
Yeah, yeah. George Cricket. Uh, favorite food?
Man, it's got to be seafood, bro.
Please don't say tacos. Oh, okay.
Seafood.
Seafood
I go to Mazatlan like twice a year just because of the food. Straight up. Yeah, I like seafood.
with like crawfish, shrimp,
No, I'm talking
fish.
about like ceviche,
Oh, okay, okay.
aguachiles.
Got you,
I'm talking
got
about
you. Who do you
uh,
think makes it like really good aguachiles in Houston? Because there's been a lot, and then like some died, some.
man. Right now, Cocteles El Gordito, he gets down, bro.
Mm,
That's my boy. Not because that's my homeboy, but nah, there's some days my boy be slacking. I got he be. I taste it like, hey, bro. You slacked up on this one, my nigga. But
yeah,
yeah, Cocteles El Gordito's pretty good on it. But if I gotta go to a restaurant, man, like I said, El Muelle on airline,
yeah,
it gets down. Vida Mariscos over there in 249. Those are my two favorite spots. And then Nayarit on over there in 290.
nice. Your favorite drink besides you said your tequila already,
Gotta be a Paloma.
Paloma
Yeah, that's definitely. I can drink that all day.
from Santa Mierdo. What's it called? Santa Mierdo,
Santo Remedio.
Santa Remedio. Yeah,
Yeah, they're pretty good.
or
The
where like your own? You make your own palomas?
I either make my own or I go over there. Like if I'm in a rush, I stop at Santo Remedio and I'll go ahead
Yeah.
and pick one up.
That the shot's hitting you, huh?
Shot's going down.
Favorite. I seen when he walked in the podcast. I noticed he has Gucci shoes on.
Oh, this is my throat with shoes, bro.
These are your throw. He just got off of work and came here.
Those are my work shoes.
What's your favorite designer?
Man, it gotta be Balenciaga, bro.
Balenciaga.
Yeah, it's definitely not too much because of the name, because of the quality of their clothes, the quality of their shoes.
So let me ask you this: what do you think about the post that happened with Balenciaga?
Man,
With
I honestly think, bro, it's one of those deals that it's all politics on this deal. I feel like I'm not sure. I haven't like really done my research or something like that, but I feel like, hey, if you ain't paying this much bread, we're gonna throw some dirt on you. Look what happened with Kanye and Yeezy. Hey,
Yeah.
they did a whole big old deal about it, and now hey, all of a sudden they signed a contract. He's back with them.
yeah,
So I feel like, hey, you know what? If you're not gonna do what we're gonna tell you to do, then hey, you know what? We're gonna throw some shades over you.
yeah,
And I don't know, bro. I don't get into whole detail about
yeah.
about all them drama. I like what I like it, and if I
Yeah.
feel comfortable, I'm aware.
Nice. What about your what's your dream car or truck?
When I was little, bro, my dad had a white Lambo. And,
Really?
yeah.
Diablo?
No, it was a Hurricane. And then so my dream is to go ahead and get another white Lambo. So that's my ultimate goal, to go ahead and get another one.
Nice. A Huracan too, or
Whatever I can afford. But right now, right now, I ain't gonna be picky about it. But yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
whatever I can
yeah.
afford.
Nice. What is so oh man. What is the all right, so if you had a red or blue pill, right? One the red pill like fixes all your mistakes you had in life. The blue pill gives you um let's just say 500K.
Well, shit, the past is the past, so I leave that in the past. I definitely take the blue pill.
So Icar had a really good one. He picked the red pill because he said that maybe sometimes your mistakes can give you the money. I mean, if you took away the mistakes, it'd give you the money. You know what I'm saying?
Man, it's one of those deals, man. If you had to work that way, then you probably can. But I made some pretty big mistakes on it that even then I wouldn't want that money that I would have made, with those choices. It's one of those deals that I did those things and I'm not proud of doing them again. So yes, those mistakes, I wouldn't want to go back to that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, I could probably make double me the money, but then I'm gonna start fresh, clean with this 500K, and not go back to this, regretting things, because certain things I did in the past I really don't want to, not proud of it. And I don't want to go back to them.
Got
So I
you.
wouldn't want that past to come back to the future.
Got you. So Delkarloz, what's your biggest flex right now that you can name of?
Man, I guess my biggest flex, man, is gonna be health. It's one of those deals, man, that I got a lot of friends, that they went through some stuff, man, and I was just glad and happy that I'm not going through that. So like I said, to me, material stuff is not really a flex.
Yeah.
Health to me is a flex. Thankfully, I'm
That's
healthy
awesome.
right now, and that's to me that's my flex. That I can do whatever I want and eat whatever I want without having any limitations of stuff like that. And I love food, so to me, by be able to eat whatever I want, that's already a flex.
That's awesome. What is on your bucket list? Something on your bucket list.
Man, and my bucket list is finish endless was for sure. It's been in my bucket for a couple of years now. That's that. My bucket list to travel to Japan to a show they do there once a year,
Nice.
and pretty much start a chapter over there. And
When's that coming?
it's gonna be in September.
Oh, this year.
Yeah, this year.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
not going this year, but I want to go. One this
Gotcha.
year, so over there, and pretty much make the club bigger, man. So do it as big as I can, and as strong as we can. We got some members that there's some diehard members, and
Really?
they get they're gonna take it to the casket. So
Wow, that's crazy. That's nice. What what is your definition of a cuh? Like
man, I think man a
in the truck game.
definition of a cup to me, it's like, and I don't mean this in no hate shit because I don't want nobody saying, oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Carlos, feels some type of different way. To me, like if you have a little, it changes, like it changes the color because if you got, your jeans starts down, rock revivals or true religion and your boots and your little, mullet,
Yeah.
or you got your little, little, what do you call it, little shroom haircut, and
Little shroom
little
haircut.
shroom haircut, to me that's a color.
Yeah.
And in the truck scene, little Cole, it's a guy that has a truck that he has a different color bed truck, a little different front end. He has different type of wheels, and the bed's cut up. The gas is in the back. To me, like another cut, another.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But at the same time, and I don't know, if these guys do it because that's all they can afford, or they do it just to get attention, or in reality, hey, this is what I have and this is what we're gonna run with. So at the same time, I can't sit there and ask them, at the end of the day, because I'm remember my days, when I first started my truck, I was embarrassed. My truck didn't look kind of clean. I didn't want to take it out.
Yeah.
And nowadays I feel like the more you beat up your truck is, the more you're gonna you want to show it off. And some people have that mentality now, where like, hey man, I'm gonna take my shit out, no matter what.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna go ahead and abuse it and destroy it and do that. And just like I said, it's a different thing. To me, that's what a definition of a co is.
Yeah, yeah.
And everybody's different, But man, I got a lot of little buddies that they're like that, And man, I got a lot of love for them. They always call me, hey man, what do you think about this? What do you think I should do that? Or hey, where can I get this? So I usually help them out
Yeah.
as much as I can.
What do you think about them, like, as far as in the truck scene? Like, you think it's a problem? You think it's not really a big deal?
I think, man, it's not really a problem because at the end of the day, everybody has the right to do their own deal.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you kind of keep them separate. Like, hey, nigga, this is your little section. You do what you want to do. And,
Yeah, yeah.
Don't come over here, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's not dividing them. It's just kind of like giving them their own space so they can do
Yeah.
what they do.
Yeah. I feel like they make a lot. They make up the truck scene, though. Like,
Oh, yeah.
most of them.
Yeah, a lot of them. They got like a lot of like right now. Most of them are YouTubers. I mean, you got a couple of little kid that has a beat up ass truck, but he has 60,000 subscribers on YouTube.
Yeah.
And a lot of times, you might not think he's popular on Instagram with that because he got 4,000 followers, but on YouTube, this little nigga's already got a whole camera and everything.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I got a lot of love for them boys, at the end of the day, But yeah, I try to stay away from the niggas because man, they start doing burnouts and to them, doing a burnout is badass, And to me, it's badass too. But when you got $100,000 truck behind them, and a $20,000 paint job and throwing rock chips on it, you're like, hey, nigga, quit your shit,
You think it
I
was?
think that would think, hey, you know what? I'm throwing rock chips at this nigga's truck.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, bro.
So like, I don't have a problem with them, but like I said, like I try to go ahead and leave them to their space on it, and don't take trucks over there because at the end of the day, I'm only putting myself in that spot too.
Yeah. Do you think a cut hit Breezy's truck at the show?
Yeah, I mean this boy had a little shroom haircut, little
Oh my God.
little J's and little.
You were there? Were you there?
I wasn't there when it happened. When I actually went up there, because I'm a part of Texas Hold'em, so he was
Yeah, yeah.
at the show, and so I was like, man, what were you thinking, dog? Man, bro, I was just revving it, and like you could tell the kid was on some, it was on pills or something.
Oh damn.
Yeah, and then Yeah, I called Breezy, like, hey, Breezy, somebody
He wasn't there.
Nah, Breezy was in Cali. I think he was,
Oh man.
it was in Cali. So the actual owner of that truck is the Art. What's it called? The actual owner of that truck is the Art. And so I called Breezy, like, hey, go and call Art and tell him to hit his truck.
Wow.
And then it sucks about it, man, because the weekend before that at the shootout, a 10 half flew out and hit the other truck.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So
I
it was like
seen
back
that.
to back. So and the reason I parked the truck in there so that way, you don't get damaged or hailstorm or anything like that. And then, this kid goes and ramps and shit of it to it. So I like call Art, like, hey man, this happened, and I don't know how he got in there because we had everything barricaded. We had the gates closed and everything. So I don't know how did he manage to go ahead and drive over there
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and got his truck hit. But yeah, I mean, a lot of times, people like that make other little cuz look bad because they're like,
Yeah,
man,
for sure. So you say you're a part of Texas Hold'em. What do you? You're the owner of Texas Hold'em. You organize it or what?
actually there's three owners. There was four of them, but Mr. Lewis unfortunately passed away during COVID.
Oh, damn.
So now it's three owners. So it's with Rubio, Fabian, and myself, and we pretty much just organize it. Sit down and have a meeting, pre-plan the concert, pre-plan, the groups that we're going to be bringing. What are we going to be doing this year? Like this year we did the Michelada contest, and we did the Wepa contest. Fluffy from he calls it Central Texas because I think I don't want to say he's from DFW, but he's Central Texas. So, he actually does a Wepa contest. I'm not sure if he keep up with TikTok or not.
Yeah.
And
I had one of the contesters on the podcast.
Oh, okay, cool.
The Wepa Bros.
Oh, okay. I think what was his name?
Josiah and
Josiah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's the one who actually went out there. Him and his brother. So he went out there and did an event. So next year we'll probably think of something different and
Yeah. Nice.
work it out. But yeah, that's pretty much that.
What? So I gotta ask you, what happened to, at Texas Hold'em, with DJ Paul and DJ Playback?
Man, that's So normally every year, we hire DJ Playback to be at our tent.
Mm-hmm.
And for the past 3 years, they always share the stage. They always share the stage. He'll go over there and then while Paul's doing his thing, saluting people and stuff like that, he goes up there. Well, there was a little beef, that they had between each other, which to me, they're both grown ass men. I didn't think they were gonna go ahead and come down to where it got physical.
Yeah.
So Playboy went up there, and I'm not sure, I wasn't there, so what kind of words exchanges, whatever, and then Paul told me to get off my stage, and then pretty much socked him,
Yeah.
and laid him out. So it's one of those deals that it's like I told both of them, like, little bro, y'all grown ass men, y'all need to go and handle it, on your own.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get part of it and stuff like that. At the end of the day, both my friends and they've been there for me, multiple times. And like I said, at the end of the day, I have nothing against neither one of them. So like I told them, hey, this is out of me. This is between y'all two, and y'all handle it.
Yeah.
And that's what it was.
Damn. So I had Paul on the podcast like before that happened, right? And then after it happened, but never really. I don't think nobody even knows the story or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, deep down, like, to actually, like, break it down, like, I mean, I really don't know what actually carried it out to where it got to that point that got physical. But like I told him, like, look, I don't know, and I don't want to know. At the end of the day, it's just one between y'all two, and whatever it was that he got to the point it got physical, then y'all need to fix it.
Right. Okay, so let's go back to the trucks. Do you think Team Billet is one of the big trucks in the U.S.? Biggest truck crews?
It's one of the biggest, but it's not the biggest. I think the biggest is Evertice. It's a club that's been around for many generations,
Really?
Yeah. And it's not a lot of people hear about it here because they're mainly like on, out of town shows in Oklahoma and Last Resort, shows that, not that we don't want to go, but that's not really our vibe, because, we're the type of people that we want to have a DJ, we want to have a banda, we want to have a taquita, and to them it's like, hey, now y'all being too loud,
Really?
And it's one of those
What's
deals.
their vibe then?
It's more like, go take your kids, hang out, barbecue, and socialize with your club members, which is no biggie, everybody has their own style, but we got guys that drive 15, 18 hours, they don't want to go sit down at a show and just sit down and talk about, hey, how's work?
Life, yeah.
How's life? We care, but we don't care,
Yeah, yeah.
We're there, to have a good time, party it up, drink it up, and go back to, to your real life.
Mm-hmm.
and that's the other reason why we don't go to a lot of those shows. You know, they're nice venues, nice everything, but they just not us. You know.
Got you. What are some shows you've been to that really like really set it off? Like they go all out. Some like Atlanta Truck Invasion, maybe
So we
bandas.
so we got I think the biggest shows that will go all out used to be April Shootout from Under Gas, October Madness from Under Gas, now Atlanta in Truck Invasion, which Sal is one of our members, the one that actually hosts the show. And then we got Vandas, and then we have what other shows kind of big like that? We got CTI in California that really gets popping too like that, and then also like the shows that we actually go, we'll get a band and party it up.
Anything crazy happened to it like at a show?
I think the craziest thing was, man, probably in Cali, because in Cali, bro, it's like I tell you, it's one of those deals. It's like a really gangish, like
Yeah.
like in the clubs, like you can't go chill with another club because it's already beef. So there was like a little rumble between like Team Billet and another club, and it was kind of made a big
Really?
yeah a big scene in social media, like like in TikTok and all that. Everybody was kind of talking down on us. Oh, well, that's how y'all get down, and
Oh,
I was
yeah.
like, man, bro, at the end of the day, so I talked to my guy, like, little bro, try to spark away from those clubs. At the end of the day, they have a different vibe, and it is what it is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. What do you so recently the track closed down in Baytown. What are your thoughts on that? How did you feel? Because you were younger. I'm not sure when you started going to the track. I started going to the track to that track when I was like 7 or 8. So when I seen, I was like,
Man,
damn.
it was kind of not heartbreaking because at the end of the day, it's just a track, but at the end of the day, you build memories at the
Yeah.
track, it's kind of one of those deals that's where I met my first girlfriend over there. So, used to go on Friday nights and
Yeah.
barbecue and, go racing and stuff. So,
Yeah.
that's where I met my first girlfriend at. And it was kind of one of those deals that,
So it probably had more sentimental value than most
yeah,
people. Cause
yeah. So, like, you take those memories and you're like, damn, like that's where this happened, that's
my first kiss and everything.
or a little blowjob and little shit like that. But no, yeah, it's a definitely, when I saw that, when I had heard about it, 4 years before they actually announced it. And I at first I didn't believe it, because like, nah, they're bullshitting.
Yeah.
But whenever they actually posted it, it kind of hit different, brain. I was like,
Yeah.
man, this is our hometown show, where we go all out. I mean, we get a banda, we get a groove, we put a 40-footer trailer, make a little stage and everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was definitely it kind of hit home, bro. Like whenever we saw that, and little by little, shows in Houston, have gone away. Like Texas Showdown went away.
Yeah.
Third Coast Nationals went away. Battle Drag went away. And now the Shooters went away. They're gonna be moving to Dallas, for OTM, but I mean it's not gonna be the same thing. It's not.
Oh.
So those are the rumors right now. They're going to Dallas. So
Why don't they go to HPT?
it's too small, bro. It's too small of a track. Yeah, I think the only one that
I
does.
know that's an eighth, but
Yeah.
oh, okay.
Yeah, I think the only one that does shows there is Freddie, LAX.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
the only one that does them in there. But yeah, it's too small of a track. They won't fit everybody in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You seen the pictures, right? Like when they were tearing it down. I'm sure you seen them.
Yeah, yeah.
What'd you think? Like,
At first, I was like, man, like I can't believe they're actually tearing it down. I mean, so much money just thrown away. But then again, when I heard the amount of money they made on the sale, I was like, you know what? Well, yeah, I would have done it too.
why did they sell it?
The warehouse is right next to it. I'm not sure if you noticed all the construction being going over there. I think they offered them like a dumb amount of money, and it was just an offer they couldn't refuse.
Wow.
So yeah, it's one of those deals. I mean, if you think about it, you probably make about 20 grand on the track, and you get in, you start multiplying that times the months and weeks and months and years, and you get this amount of money. You start doing the math, like, man, it don't make no sense to keep it open.
Yeah. Any up and coming truck crews that you see like in Houston that maybe they reach out to you for advice or like,
Not really reach out for me to advice, but I mean they got a couple of clubs that they're coming to come up, and like I see the guys, the guys trying, and I'm kind of glad that there's other clubs out there that I'm pretty sure there's other clubs doing things they kind of want to do the same, and and at the end of the day, like we got Hazardous, that it's more of a. I think Hazardous came from Cali because I want to say that they were in Houston before and now they are, and they were in Dallas and then now they came to Houston, so now I think Hazardous is here in Houston. What other club is in here? ASA Trucks. I mean, he came in Houston too. And after that, man, there's a bunch of little clubs. You know, you go to like the little Sunday truck meets and you see like some names. And you're like, God damn, where's this motherfuckers come from?
Yeah.
But
You used to
yeah,
go to Taco Town before?
yeah, every Sunday.
Damn,
Yeah,
that was.
yeah, every Sunday, bro. You watch the truck. You wake up, watch the truck, and get ready for that. You know that Taco Town cruise. You know,
Man, that was crazy.
my first house, bro, that I bought back when I was 17. I bought it in Taco Town.
Really.
Yeah.
Just for that?
No, no. Actually, I was working in Baytown,
Mm.
and then what's it called? I saw the house in Taco Town, and I bought it, and then I lived there for a while. That's whenever, like I said, the Timberlake was like at its peak there.
Yeah.
So.
Man, I was jumping, man. Like it was really popping back then, for real. Like
Oh
when
yeah.
you went, you seen races, you seen like really good, nice trucks. Well, at that time, really nice trucks. You seen girls. You know what I mean? You
Oh
had
yeah,
food.
yeah, yeah.
Like it was like,
Yeah, you get a whole vibe there. You know,
yeah,
like you're going like Sunday. It still kind of pops a little bit, but now it's different. Now you go to, they go to the old Rieles.
yeah.
They go from there. They go to Bombshells, but now it's a little different. You know, now it's like the whole sideways deal. You know, like you go in there and they go in the pit and they go sideways on it.
Oh, got
And
you.
before it was more about cruising, a little burnout, and they go race.
Yeah.
You go to Slick Willies and all the deal. And but now it's a little bit different. But
Talk about the. I know you've seen it. Many people seen it. The TRX build, the single cab.
the one
The
Nico
one,
built or the
yeah.
one that Chewy built? Well, was building.
Uh, Nico. Well, who built it first?
Well, Nico finished finished it first. He was the one that finished it first, and then but Chewy, I think Chewy has started on it. So I'm not sure who thought about the idea first or who But Nico's the one that finished it first.
Mm.
I haven't seen it in person yet, so I mean, I really don't know the quality of the build there. I mean,
Oh,
in
got you.
pictures and videos, it looks really nice. I haven't seen it in person too. How the frame got section, how the frame got reinforced. The body work on the cab or on the doors, stuff like that. So I haven't seen it in person, honestly. So pictures and videos, it looks great. Like I said, until you actually see it in person, and that's whenever you start. Oh, you know what? This body line don't match that body line, or
Yeah.
if that's the case.
What about the other one, Chewy? I mean,
The one Chewy's building in the valley. I haven't seen it in person either.
oh,
I said I've seen it in videos and stuff like that. So like I said, what? I can't really judge a build in pictures, based on pictures and videos.
yeah,
Because everything looks good in pictures and videos. So at the end of the day, when I see it in person, I'll be like, hey, you know what? This body line ain't matching with that one. Or you see where they welded it, they didn't weld it all the way or something
yeah.
like that. So yeah, to me, I got to see it in person so I can tell you my true opinion about it. But you know what? That is not right. That's not what I'll rock. But like
Yeah.
I said, it looks badass in pictures and videos.
You seen it like take off on a dig
Not in person. I seen it on the video.
on the video?
Yeah.
Man, that thing launched.
Oh yeah, that thing got some. They got some.
Man, it launched
horsepower.
like just. Wow.
Yeah.
I was like, damn.
Yeah, so I can already imagine they're fast, being a four door, and I can already imagine, being a single cab.
Yeah.
So I can already imagine how
Would
fast it is.
Would you get a single cab TRX
Yeah.
or a Shelby, the Shelby F-150, the single cab?
Man, that's a tough one, but definitely probably a Shelby, bro.
Really?
Yeah, just because I always been either a Ford guy or a Chevy guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I never been like more of a Dodge guy. But I mean, I just feel like the TRX is just kind of looks like an older truck still, just by stuff added on it.
Mm-hmm.
The Shelby looks a little bit more modern.
So who do you think's doing it big right now? Ford, Chevy, or Dodge?
It depends.
And as far as trucks,
It depends on what you want to do with it. So you want to tow, you want to show, or you want to go fast?
damn. Which one has everything?
Man, I want to say Dodge, bro.
Yeah.
The Dodge came out with a new one. It's called the high output, motor on it. The motor is badass. The transmission is trash.
Oh.
So it's kind of, but the interior on it is overall modern. It's a big screen on it, stuff like that on it.
Yeah.
So I think if I get the Chevy transmission, put on the Dodge, the Allison transmission on
They
it,
always
it'd be
yeah.
perfect.
Yeah.
But I think Dodge is probably taking the lead right now, bro. On when it comes to like towing.
Yeah.
When it comes to like performance, man, I think the T-Rex are right now are hitting it just because the suspension it has on it. You can either go off roading, you can go on the highway, you can do that, and then the Shelby is mainly a highway. You can't go to extreme.
Yeah.
With the Shelby, so
That's true.
I think Dodge is the one kind of taking the lead right now.
What about the new Chevy? You heard about the new Chevy coming out? The
The Ultimate,
Z. No, it's like Z.
CO2.
Something. No, Z7. No, not Z7. What the hell? Z something. It's supposed to be like competing with the TRX.
Uh,
It's like a yellow.
I think I
I think they
seen
had a concept of it already.
I think I've seen a little small TikTok on it, but I haven't really kept up with that one,
Mm.
man.
Would you drive a electric Lightning, the Ford? What
No,
do you think
man.
about like the electric trucks?
I mean, I personally wouldn't rock one because at the end of the day, I always been in I gotta hear the motor, like
Yeah.
if I have a truck, I better hear some type of noise on it. It's like I always tell everybody, you don't never leave your little cut life, because you always want to hear some
Yeah.
type of noise, some type of rumble. So yeah, you kind of
But
gotta,
that one you just like start and you won't hear nothing. Like it'd be
yeah,
quiet, and you don't even know if it's on or not.
yeah. I mean, I drove a couple electrical cars, and man, they got some torque. I mean, they're fast.
Yeah.
I drove a Tesla, and I mean, like I said, he takes off fast, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you,
The
but
torque, yeah.
I just know I just gotta hear, like the motor, like to
Yeah.
me, like I don't think I can go ahead and live with or have an electric car, electric truck.
Yeah. What are some future plans for Team Billet? I think you touched on it a little bit. If you can just elaborate a little bit more.
I mean, my plans, like I said, for Team Billet is making it bigger,
Yeah.
Definitely, I want to go overseas. So if I can open up a chapter in Japan, or like
Yeah.
Tokyo or somewhere over there, that'd be definitely the goal, man. But that's it. As far as that, you just keep on pushing it, and like like I said, when we first started, I got a lot of guidance from like OGs in the game that definitely I think if without them, I don't think Team Billet would be where it's at right now.
Yeah. What do you think the truck scene changed from when you started to what it is now? And also, do you think YouTubers influenced a lot in the truck scene?
Man, honestly, the truck scene has changed a lot, but I think it just has gotten more competitive when it comes to the builds.
Yeah.
I don't think it changed for the bad. I think it's just a lot of like, and it's me coming from me, because I don't consider myself an OG. To me, an OG is one of the guys that started, back in the days, and they always tell me, nah, it's because the truck scene it's not what it was no more. Like you can come to a show and hang out, and at the end of the day, you kind of got to keep up with it, bro. Like at the end of the day, the trucks, the bills get harder. There's more money involved on them, so I think you kind of got to go with the flow. And a lot of times
Mm-hmm.
people, I'm not a follower. I don't follow the truck scene. I do my own thing. When in reality, if you do your own thing, you kind of stand behind.
Yeah.
You kind of got to go what's popping.
The wave.
Yeah, the wave on it, and yeah, definitely YouTubers, man. This it's definitely a new era. They have a lot of influence in the truck scene, and a lot. Nowadays, if the YouTuber's gonna be there, a lot of people want to be there because of them.
Yeah.
Well, to us, Timberlake wise, I guess we don't see them as that important because to us, they're just YouTubers. To
Mm,
me, like a YouTuber is not really a truck builder. It's they'll buy a truck because that's what the people like.
got you.
So to me, like, yeah, I show respect to him, I show love to him, but to me, like, I'll show more love to somebody that build a truck from ground up than somebody that just bought one just to do it a giveaway and stuff like that.
So what if somebody built a truck from ground up and was a YouTuber? Like they recorded because the only thing that makes different a YouTuber is the recording. So like let's say if you Endless, right? You recorded all of Endless, put on YouTube all every day, I mean like every other day, and that would make you a YouTuber.
YouTuber.
You know?
So pretty much, somebody that can build a truck from ground up with his ideas, I can show mad respect to them.
Oh, okay, got you.
So like I said, somebody that can build a truck and not just go ahead and go buy one, or oh, you know what, I want this on the truck and do this and do that. Like okay, cool, but not that.
Got you.
Because really, in reality, bro, and I hate to say this, a lot of YouTubers, they can't really sit there and tell you everything about the truck.
Really? Oh, okay.
Like they'll like you tell them, hey, bro, what motor you got this? Oh no, we got a 5.3. Okay, what cam you got on it? Oh well, you know what? Oh, what transmission you got on it? Hey, you know what? What suspension you got on it? Hey, what shocks you got on it? Hey, what pinion angle you got? Your rear end. They can't really sit there and explain to you. Oh, you know what? We dropped it with this parts and stuff like that. So I noticed a lot of YouTubers that really don't know what's in their truck.
Got you.
So that's the only difference that I is between real builders and YouTubers that build trucks.
Another question. What do you think it costs more money to build a truck to hit 8 seconds or to build a truck for SEMA?
It's about the same thing, honestly.
Really?
Because to build a truck for SEMA, mean, you could do a regular basic truck and go to SEMA. It just depends who you know
Yeah.
to get in there. But to build an 8-second truck, I mean, easily you need a 6.0 and a turbo. You know, a fully built, 6.0 and a turbo, and you hit an 8. So it depends how low of an 8 you want. If you want like a low flat 8, then you're looking about $50,000, $60,000. If you're looking, to go to SEMA with a fully frame build, you're looking about 150,000.
Mm-hmm.
So it just depends on what level of SEMA you want to go to, and then what level of eighth of a second, you want to go ahead and go.
What about the risk? Is it more risky to build it for performance or for show? Because you have to remember when you build it for performance, you're gonna break something. Like you're never not gonna break nothing, even if you put the best parts on it.
To me, like I've been in the racing game, and to me, it's not worth it. It's a fun, it's a badass sport. It's a fun game at the end of the day. But if you're not really making money doing anything, you're really just throwing your money away.
Yeah.
On a show truck, man, your show truck is there. You can easily turn around tomorrow and be like, hey, it's time to build another one, sell it, get another one. You got your money there. On a race truck, yeah, you can sell it, but you're not gonna get your money back out of it.
Mm.
And then you do a hit on it, you blow the tranny, that's $2,000 out the drain.
Mm-hmm.
And if you break your tranny, you crack your block, and you collect the rear end, and they go $60,000.
Yeah.
On a truck, yeah, everybody say, oh yeah, somebody can rear end you from the back, and you're done with the truck. I mean, it's a risk as well, but it's a less of a risk, you take on a show truck than on a race truck.
Yeah. I've always said that it's more money and more risk for the performance.
Definitely.
Especially you're going. Some trucks hit 180. They'll flag a 180, 200, and what if your chute don't deploy? That's your life.
That's only
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I feel like you have more to lose money wise, risk or wise. Just a lot more.
No, yeah, definitely, man. Like I say, racing things on it, and I know a lot of people that race, and sometimes I see the races that do like $1,000, like I'm not gonna pay. I ain't gonna raise my shit for $1,000,
Nah, but you see some people race for like 10 bands.
No, yeah,
15 bands.
we got some real racers, they're like $10,000, it'd be a $30,000 pot or $40,000 pot. But when I see like somebody race for like $1,000, I'm like, bro, like your transmission's worth $5,000,
Yeah.
your motor's worth about 40,000, like I don't even turn my shit on for that much.
Yeah. Damn.
I'm saying, that's just me,
Yeah.
But like, a lot of times right now it's more about bragging rights. Well, I got the fastest truck.
Yeah.
Well, I got the fastest, time. Where I got the fastest, this, that's to me. That's what it is about right now.
So you said you've been in the truck scene. I mean, in the performance scene. Who do you think is really like killing it right now as far as like performance?
Man,
On the gas, Crawfish. You have Pasadena Speed. Flacco Performance been around for a while, since like 08, 06.
I think Flacco's an OG, bro. At the end of the day, he can sit there and build it. If you got to compete with somebody, he'll build a truck and beat anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day,
You remember when he raced them? Sorry to cut you up. Remember he raced the Spike?
Yeah.
At the HPT?
Yeah.
That was crazy.
So I feel like, Flacco can build a truck and he can go ahead and build it and beat anybody he wants because he's tuning it himself.
Yeah.
He can go ahead and adjust the tune on it. On the gas, they don't tune their own trucks.
Yeah.
So, like, they have to have a tuner there. So, and, if something goes wrong with their truck, they're done.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the day, to me, Flacco's can sit there and go ahead and, mess with his truck and go ahead and get it going on it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, Crawfish is one of the fastest trucks, 4x4 there is, but honestly, there's, you got the guys from Baby King Ranch from Velocity.
Mm-hmm.
Velocity has some pretty fast trucks, too.
Yeah.
Who else has some pretty fast trucks? And that guy, from Velocity, too, he messes with his own truck, too. So, I mean, he can actually sit there and mess with it, too. That's a lot of times. That's
Check the data and everything.
check the data on it. So that's what makes a lot of the real races out there. They mess with their own trucks that can actually get them out there and get them going.
Yeah.
Who else is pretty fast out there? Houston Street Monsters. With well, actually wasn't. He has the little OJ, the orange one,
Yeah.
and then you got Manuel with the Gator, which I don't think belongs to him, but he belongs to one of his customers.
Yeah.
And those are one of the fastest street trucks there is right now. Down in the valley, man, I don't know. I mean, well, basically what I saw this weekend, I mean, I didn't see too many fast trucks out there, but like I said, not a whole lot of people came out to race because of the weather, but I mean, there is some fast trucks down there.
Spike represent hard though back then. Remember?
Oh yeah.
Like he was.
Yeah, back in the days, man, you had Spike, you had what was the other guys from Aggressive Levels, you had
Yeah.
you had a lot of people from the valley that were hitting it hard, and you got the guy Joker with the twin turbo
Yeah.
Silverado 2s. I mean, there was a lot of people down the valley, and I think they're still racing out there, but they don't really come out as much anymore.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming too it has to do with with the betting and the pots and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not gonna bring a $200,000 race truck for a fucking $1,000 race,
Yeah. Man, whenever like I told you before, I seen Flaco and I said this in pretty much all my podcasts that I have people with trucks and stuff, and the truck scene, is that man that wasn't even a thing like turbos, like it was
It was nitrous back in the days.
nitrous or all motor,
Yeah.
and then but it's awesome to see like people like how it's changed, yeah.
So yeah, the levels of it. Yeah, like
Like he said, he was like 1,200 horsepower. I mean 2,500 on the Mona Lisa. I was like, damn, crazy,
it was crazy, bro.
crazy. But
Yeah, I remember back then, Flaco had, I don't know if you remember the Hey Holler, you remember Little Sis?
hey holler, little sis was like, he was trying to hit 200 on the mile, remember?
Yeah.
And he was breaking like 199 or something like that. And but I remember his dad, because I used to go to his house and he bought his dad a Cyclone, a S10.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember or if you knew. But,
I don't know if I seen it. I don't know if it was a black one or it was a I think it was a black one.
yeah, he bought him like a C10 and then I mean not C10, S10, and yeah, man, it's awesome to see how like he progressed. I remember he like when he first started tuning out of his house, it was like a not a rundown house, but it needed a lot of work.
Yeah.
A blue one, and then he went off of a Strawberry over there, Strawberry Road.
Yeah, yeah. You're right there by Spencer.
Yeah, and yeah, it was awesome.
He's the one actually
Definitely OG.
yeah,
for sure. Shout out to him.
endless. What's it called? The first story that got to me was by him, and then whenever it kind of started getting kind of popular, he was like really ain't answering nobody's phone calls, instructions.
Yep.
So I ended up switching the tune with the KSP, and then KSP is the one that got it, got it tuned right now. So right now, I don't know if I'm gonna go back to KSP or I'm gonna let Boostic Fab go and not mess with the tune. So
Yeah.
depending on who's available.
Right. Yeah, Vidi Boy, anything to maybe get off your chest? I asked you a lot of questions already.
No, shit, we good, man. Like I said the other day,
I have a couple more questions to wrap it up, but
No,
anything
that's
else?
pretty much it. I mean, actually, I know we've been trying to go and link up for a while, and
Yeah.
and appreciate the invite, and it's like I said, I follow your podcast, since a while back, and
Yeah.
I'm kind of glad, finally decided, go ahead and link up and make the time for it.
What do you think about it?
It's pretty cool, man. Like I said, it's my first, podcast ever, and I get invited to a lot of them, but I just like, man, bro, like I work a lot, and then
Yeah.
when I'm not working, I'm doing my side hustle, and when I'm not doing my side hustle, I'm doing my other side hustle,
Yeah.
and
So, I'm officially gonna dedicate this podcast just to the truck scene.
badass, man.
I'm not doing, yeah, maybe a small business here and there. I mean, a business, but it's mostly gonna be the truck scene.
Gotcha.
I'm not doing like what I used to do, So I used to do like tattoo people. That's like everybody who has podcasts is I learned a lot and I'm honored to have him on the podcast. But I feel like I'm just gonna kill the truck scene with the podcast.
Badass, man. I mean, it's kind of cool, bringing people that's been in the game for a long time, or
Yep.
people that are actually on the game right now or new to the game.
Mm-hmm.
So so that way, if they're not sure of something, they can actually get guided through your podcast,
Yep.
or hey, I saw this guy on podcast. I'm gonna hit him up. Hey, what? Hey, what do you think about this, bro? Or how can I help you? Or how can you help me? Get better and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty badass line of communication. That you're opening up.
Yeah. What do you think of? What do you have to say to the youth out there? Maybe they're in high school. Maybe they just got out of high school and they want to build a truck.
Man, I'm gonna tell them like I tell everybody, and that's something that I didn't follow that I wish I would have followed. Get a degree. Get you a truck and catch your job. And put a little bit of money on it, but get you a degree. And go to go. If you don't want to be like a lawyer or doctor, just work in the refineries. Work in the oil field. Work in the medical field. And at the end of the day, you're gonna have a job. You always want to get a job that's always gonna generate money. Like if you're gonna become a nurse, there's always somebody that can be sick,
Mm-hmm.
So, you want to get a job that is always going to generate money, and that money you pretty much put in back in your truck. But if you build your truck, and then, you don't have actually a degree, you're always going to be kind of fighting for that job, or try to find a career that's always going to be money on it, something that's always going to be work there.
Mm-hmm.
And that's, to me, that's probably the best advice that I can give to like the younger truck scene. Hey,
Right.
get you a degree or get you a job that's going to generate money or start your own company. Like a lot of people, I know a lot of cats, that that started like 19-year-olds, started their own plumbing company, their own welding company, and man, right now they got 30, 40 employees.
Nice.
So I always tell everybody, hey, get you something that's stable on it, somebody, something that you can get your money, revenue coming in, so that way later on you're gonna be struggling about a job, and you still got to be worried about your truck. Because what happens a lot of times in the truck scene, man, somebody gets a truck, builds it badass, gets a girl pregnant, and sells the fucking thing. That
Yeah.
happens to a lot of my guys. That's a lot of the Timberlake guys that
Oh
start
my
in the
god.
beginning. They'll get a girl pregnant. Hey, bro, I'm gonna sell my truck and I'm gonna get a
I gotta
house.
start a
And
family in this.
yeah, like my boy, go ahead and get you. Do everything and still keep your truck. But
Yeah.
a lot of times you can't do it because you only got a certain amount of income coming in. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to get rid of stuff. So I always tell about the younger crowd, hey, get you a good job first before you decide to go ahead and get somebody pregnant or get married, because then you got to get rid of your shit.
Yeah. You feel like they'll plateau? Like let's say if they work at a job that pays them maybe $500 a week, and then so they're only dedicated so much money to their truck or build, right? So like they'll eventually plateau and they might be like, man, I have to save this many months to buy this, versus if they have if they focus on their career first or something that they want to do that they get
Yeah,
passionate about,
yeah,
and then they bring more
yeah,
income.
definitely. It works a lot better, man. Because at the end of the day, you're gonna work at let's say you're working, working in a refinery, and you're gonna be making probably like $1,200, $1,500 a week.
Mm-hmm.
And then 800 goes to your bills, and then the rest goes to your truck. But then now you're like, damn, now I gotta wait the next week to go ahead and give me more. But now if
Yeah.
you're making $2,500 a week, 1,000 goes to your truck, and 1,500 goes to your bills, and you're still good.
Yeah. Yeah. Nice, man. Well, like, I appreciate you coming to the podcast. A couple last questions. What if you can go back for like 5 years? What advice would you give yourself?
Definitely, if I can go back in, don't take Atlas apart. Definitely, I would not take the truck apart. That'd be one of the biggest things. Like I said, just so much money that got thrown away, by not by doing that. Second, man, I think I would definitely go ahead and make better choices. With my friends, I lost some good friends over the time over bullshit, you can say.
Mm.
So definitely I can go back and try to fix that thing. Because I know I lost some good friends that I can definitely say I'll probably will never get again.
Wow.
And over business, that I should have never done with them. But at the end of the day, that's how it went down, and that's what it is. So definitely go back and not do the business with them, so that I can still have their friendship.
Oh, I got you. So let's say if they're watching the podcast, is there something that you would say to them, or like
No, I
maybe?
mean it's kind of one of those deals. Like I was live by this, and I will always live by this. What happened in the past is in the past, and I don't go back to it.
Got you.
And it's a lot of times it kind of hurts people because you don't go back and try to fix things. But at the same time, it's one of those deals that to me, I always move forward.
Yeah.
I always move forward, and I never, what happened, and it is what it is, and keep doing, do your thing.
Got you. And what do you have to tell maybe a fan that's watching you, the team member, anyone that's watching the podcast, that camera?
Pretty much, man. You say, be yourself, do your thing, and at the end of the day, like if you feel like you're not keeping up with the rest of the crowd, the rest of the rest of the wave, the rest of the truck scene, don't feel like you're not doing your thing. It's always gonna be your time. You just gotta wait on it. A lot of times, you feel like, man, I just feel like I'm not moving forward. At the same time, it's just maybe not your time. Take your time doing your stuff. Don't rush things. At the end of the day, whenever you rush things, a lot of times things don't come out the way it's supposed to come out.
Oh yeah, especially when you're building a truck.
Especially when building a truck, especially whenever you're doing life and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Try not to rush anything, because at the end of the day, it's one of those deals that if you rush things, they don't come out the way it's supposed to.
Yeah. Nice. Well, like I said, appreciate you coming to the podcast. It was a really good time. I think we're like 2 hours in. It doesn't seem like it, but we are.
I appreciate the invite, man. Like I say, like I said, we try to link up a couple of times, and it just, we're based to work, traveling,
Right.
and like I said, everything else, other shows, and it was kind of hard, but thankfully we finally made it happen, and like I said, appreciate you for having us and learn a little bit about about us.
Awesome. Hey, well, thank you for tuning in to Go Hard Podcast. Make sure you check out Delkarloz on IG, TikTok, and are you on YouTube?
No, I'm not
Okay.
on YouTube.
I'm sorry, yeah, and Facebook, right?
No Facebook either.
Oh, so IG and TikTok.
IG and TikTok only.
IG and TikTok. Make sure you follow Team Billet on IG and TikTok. And yeah, subscribe to Go Hard Podcast. Instagram, TikTok, Spotify, Apple. We're pretty much on all the audio platforms. And thank you again. Peace.